Chapter 799, Face Slapping at the Birthday Banquet. _3. By the time the two of them emerged from Gustianxiang, it was already past 1 in the afternoon. Walking amidst the bustling streets, Grandpa Du caught a glimpse of a familiar figure. It was N.I. Yang. Where did she come out from? The pawn shop. Grandpa Du glanced towards the words on the signboard behind N.I. Yang, a twitch playing at the corner of his mouth. Did she pawn the night pearl? Just like that? That night pearl was from the Northern Song dynasty, priceless. She must have gotten a load of money for it. She's still just a young girl after all. She probably thought the night pearl was just a small pearl. Such a quality night pearl, such a waste. What are you looking at, Grandpa Du? Wang Ziki asked, curious. Nothing, replied Grandpa Du, averting his gaze. Let's go. If she wants to pawn it, let it be pawned. After all, the pearl was already given to her. N.I. Yang originally intended to pawn the night pearl. After all, such a pearl was all beauty but no value, and it would be better off converted to cash. But who would have known that the pawnshop owner didn't recognize its value, insisting that it was a modern piece, offering only 1,000 yuan for it. And so, she left with the pearl. Seeing N.I. Yang leave, the pawnshop owner rushed out after her. Miss, wait, we can talk about this. Actually, 1,000 yuan is really not a small sum. 1,000 yuan was indeed a significant amount, compared to an average monthly salary of 30 yuan. But this night pearl was from the Northern Song dynasty. 1,000 yuan wouldn't even buy a tiny fragment of it. N.I. Yang glanced back. There's nothing to talk about, I'm not selling. The pawnshop owner continued, you're quite hot-tempered, young lady. If you think 1,000 yuan is too little, I can add another 500, isn't 500 quite a lot? Your pearl might look pretty, but it's not worth much. N.I. Yang looked at the pawnshop owner, then laughed, Sir, considering your age, you could call me auntie. Yet you keep calling me a young lady, do you really think I'm a naive girl you can fool around with? The pawnshop owner adjusted his glasses with a smile, just look at you, missy. I'd say you're no more than 18. Auntie? These young girls nowadays, they're so good at bluffing. Had only wanted to lower the price because he saw N.I. Yang as a young girl, carrying a valuable item. He hadn't expected this young lady to be so shrewd. N.I. Yang looked at the pawnshop owner, and with a serious expression said, Actually, I'm 88 years old this year. Though I may look young, I've had a surgery abroad. So, young man, in the future, be honest when doing business, and don't always think of cheating others. Young man? This pawnshop owner was already in his 60s, and today he was being called a young man by a young lady. But seeing N.I. Yang speaking so convincingly, the pawnshop owner was taken aback. Is it really true? Of course it's true. N.I. Yang nodded confidently. The owner of the pawnshop suddenly looked eager and flattered, supporting N.I. Yang. Then, Madam, please be careful when going down the stairs. I'm worried you might fall. By the way, could you tell me which hospital overseas you had your surgery at and maybe introduce me to it? Who wouldn't want to have a surgery that could make them look younger? N.I. Yang replied, Sorry, but they don't accept dishonest young people like you. The pawnshop owner, having said her piece, N.I. Yang turned around and left. Seeing the two of them leave, a stylishly dressed woman on the side burst out laughing. These Beijing girls are so funny. Having finished laughing, she turned to her assistant. By the way, has my third brother found his savior yet? That's right. This stylish woman is Du Jiaojiao. It seems they've found her, the assistant replied. Then let's get back quickly and see, said Du Jiaojiao. When Du Jiaojiao returned to Demingxian, Grandpa Du was already back. He was sitting in his study room lighting incense, reading Buddhist scriptures. I heard that you found her. Du Jiaojiao strolled in, pouring herself a cup of tea. Grandpa Du responded without lifting his gaze. So what's she like, this girl? Jiaojiao asked curiously. Talking about this girl, it seemed that Grandpa Du had a lot to say. He put down his scripture, and began to recount the events. After listening to the story, Du Du Jiaojiao laughed till tears filled her eyes. My goodness. Who would have thought there would come a day when your life, Grandpa Du, would be worth so little that someone saved it as an afterthought? So, any particular thoughts? Chapter 800, Face Slapping at the Birthday Banquet. _4. Everyone usually fawned over and sought favor with Mr. Du, but this girl dared to insult him brazenly. In all her years, Du Jiaojiao had never seen Mr. Du lose face like that before. Seeing Du Jiaojiao laughing until her face was contorted, Mr. Du quietly picked up his teacup and took a sip. Thankfully, he didn't tell Du Jiaojiao that Ni Yang wanted him to call her Brother Yang. If Du Jiaojiao heard about that, she would likely laugh herself to death. It seems that not telling her was indeed very wise. After a full 5 minutes of laughter, Du Jiaojiao finally suppressed her giggles. She nudged Mr. Du and said, honestly, do you have any unique feelings about this? I really want to know your current state of mind. Looking at Du Jiaojiao calmly, Mr. Du simply replied, you're too boring. Don't pretend. Aren't you feeling particularly angry now? Do you want to get back at that little girl? Du Jiaojiao asked. Not at all, replied Mr. Du with a flat tone. Continuing, Du Jiaojiao asked, what was she like? Was she pretty? Du Jiaojiao was a total beauty fanatic. Mr. Du slightly nodded his agreement. Is she prettier than I am? Du Jiaojiao pressed on. Mr. Du paused and looked at Du Jiaojiao before replying, there's no basis for comparison. Du Jiaojiao frowned slightly. What do you mean there's no basis for comparison? Are you saying that I'm prettier than her? If so, by how much? Second sister, do you think you're prettier, or is it Change, the legendary Chinese goddess of the moon? Mr. Du countered. Dumbfounded, Du Jiaojiao replied, how can these two things even be compared? There's absolutely no basis for comparison. I think you're absolutely right, Mr. Du agreed, nodding approvingly. After a while, Du Jiaojiao finally understood the implication of Mr. Du's words. He was playing mind games. This sly younger brother. Always playing mind games, implying she's not as attractive. The Zheng family. Ever since Zheng Lingling obtained some medication from the doctor a few days ago, Zheng Siyu's condition has improved. Today, she sat at the dining table without any fuss. Halfway through dinner, Zheng Lingling said, Mom, the day after tomorrow is Xianjing and Yang Yang's birthday. Coincidentally, they share the same birthday and this will be Yang Yang's first year with us. I want to make it special. Upon hearing this, the Zheng matriarch put down her chopsticks. Yes, how thoughtful of you, Lingling. This is Yang Yang's first time celebrating her birthday with us. We should definitely make it grand. It's indeed as if Xianjing and Yang Yang are fated sisters, even sharing a birth date. With a fake smile, Zheng Lingling responded, isn't that the truth? This old hag only cares about her own granddaughter. When it was Xianjing's birthday in the past, why didn't she want to celebrate it grandly? I remember the year when Xianjing turned 18. I wanted to throw a dignified birthday party for her, but what did this old hag say? She suggested that instead of wasting resources on a lavish party, we should donate to the orphanage. Was her daughter less important than those orphans? What Zheng Lingling didn't understand was that, back then, the Zheng matriarch hadn't yet found her long-lost biological daughter. If they had celebrated Xianjing's birthday in grand style, she would have felt as though she was being unfair to the daughter she had lost for so many years. Over the years, the Zheng matriarch had made sure to give Xianjing everything she deserved, not a bit less. But Zheng Lingling never saw this. She lacked empathy and understanding. Continuing, the Zheng matriarch said, since we're celebrating both of their birthdays, don't be frugal about the expenses. Don't hesitate to spend where necessary. We can't let outsiders mock our Zheng family for being stingy. Zheng Lingling nodded obediently, all right, Mom, I understand. After dinner, back in her room, Zheng Lingling called Xianjing and asked her to come home. As soon as Xianjing heard that her mother was planning a birthday banquet, she immediately set off from school. Wait and see, Xianjing. I will make sure you stand tall and proud at the birthday banquet. We will trample down that country bumpkin and I young. She doesn't even deserve to tie your shoelaces. Jing Xianjing expressed some concern. Mom, are you sure Mr. Du will come? It had been many days. Wang Ziki hadn't shown up in all that time. So Jing Xianjing was worried. Zheng Lingling laughed and reassured her, don't worry. Mr. Du will definitely come back. I'll make sure news of your birthday gets disseminated tomorrow. Jing Xianjing nodded. In order to make Zheng Xianjing's birthday a success and raise her status, Zheng Lingling put in a great deal of effort, even ordering a top-tier evening gown from overseas specifically for the occasion. Chapter 801, A Slap in the Face at the Birthday Party. _5. This is an extremely luxurious light blue evening gown, adorned with tiny diamonds at the hem, which made it appear as though she was walking on water, incredibly beautiful. Jing Xianjing put on the dress and stood in front of the mirror, exclaiming in surprise, oh my gosh. It looks so good. She never knew she could look so pretty. Zheng Lingling said proudly, of course, how could my daughter not be beautiful? Jing Xianjing then asked, by the way, Mom, what kind of evening gown did you prepare for N.I. Young? Zheng Lingling replied, the same as yours. Jing Xianjing asked in shock, what? The same as mine? How could they be the same? What if N.I. Young stole the spotlight from her? Zheng Lingling patted Jing Xianjing's hand, smiling, Xianjing, don't worry, that little bitch won't steal your thunder. Although her gown is the same style as yours, the color is different, hers is bright red. Just think about it, such a bright red, can she pull it off? Not only can she not pull it off, but it will also look tacky, and her tackiness will only highlight your pure elegance. She is just a stepping stone for you. Actually, Zheng Lingling didn't want to spend a lot of money on a fancy dress for N.I. Young. But with Grandpa Zheng and Grandma Zheng watching, if she bought different dresses for Jing Xianjing and N.I. Young, Grandpa Zheng and Grandma Zheng would definitely have something to say, which would lead to gossip. By preparing the same dresses, who could have anything to say about that? That's why Zheng Lingling intentionally chose a bright red dress for N.I. Young. Not just bright red, but also adorned with diamonds on the hem. Such a lavish dress isn't something just anyone could carry gracefully. All they had to do was wait for N.I. Young to make a fool of herself. Hearing this, Jing Xianjing nodded, Mom, you've really thought of everything. That's right, otherwise how could I be your mom, boasted Zheng Lingling. In the blink of an eye, the next day arrived, and it was N.I. Young and Jing Xianjing's birthday. As the lifesaver of Mr. Du, many distinguished people from Beijing personally came to celebrate Jing Xianjing's birthday today. Mrs. Zheng, you truly have raised a good daughter. We will all rely on Miss Xianjing in the future. Zheng Lingling replied with a smile, Mr. Lu, what are you talking about? Your presence at our Xianjing's birthday celebration is a great honor for her. Please, right this way. After sending off Mr. Lu, Mr. Zhou, Mr. Wang, Mr. Li arrived one by one, keeping Zheng Lingling extremely busy. Looking at N.I. Tsuehua, there was not a single person who came to greet her. Zheng Lingling felt extremely gratified. Actually, N.I. Tsuehua was not paying attention to these things, she was busy chatting with N.I. Chengue. Not only had N.I. Chengue come today, but Grandma Lu was also there. Grandma Lu, Grandma Zheng, Grandma Shengwan, and Grandma Mo were all quite compatible, and at this moment, the four old ladies were chatting together, only missing a mahjong set. N.I. Chengue glanced at Jing Lingling not far away and then said, Yang Yang's mom, I see your sister acting all weird, you better be careful around her. N.I. Tsuehua nodded, yeah, I know, don't worry, she can't bully me. She was no longer the person she used to be. That's good, N.I. Chengue continued, by the way, where is Yang Yang? She's the star today, how come I haven't seen her come out yet? N.I. Tsuehua smiled, she's upstairs changing into a dress. Sister Lingling bought her an evening gown from abroad. Oh, N.I. Chengue nodded, turned his head, and looked at Shengwan Dehui not far away playing with little N.I. Yun, and said with a smile, Yang Yang's mom, you really found a good man. Look how well your husband treats little Yun Yun. Enai Tsuhua smiled sweetly. Shangguan Dehui truly was a good husband and a great father. Many times, Enai Tsuihua felt very fortunate. Enai Chengue continued, also, Xiaoxiu and Xiaoxi, those two kids are also very good. Yang Yang's mom, you are truly blessed. Enai Tsuihua replied with a laugh, don't keep praising me, what about you? It's been so many years, when will you find someone again? Enai Chengue joked, where would I find such good luck as you? You still have an undying first love, my first love is already a grandfather. Enai Tsuihua said, it doesn't have to be a first love, wow. Just then, a sudden sharp intake of breath arose from the crowd. Chapter 802, A Slap in the Face at the Birthday Party. _6. My God. She's so beautiful. Enai Tsuihua and Enai Chengue turned their heads simultaneously, only to see Jing Xianjing, clad in a pale blue luxurious gown, gracefully descending the staircase. The long trail of her gown dragged across the floor, diamonds on it glistening under the crystal lights, refracting dazzling light like the rippling surface of water. She really looks stunning. In awe, Enai Chengue exclaimed, I never thought your niece could look this beautiful. This gown must have been very expensive, right? Enai Tsuihua nodded, yes, I heard it cost over 20,000 yuan. Enai Chengue was dumbfounded. 20,000 yuan just for a gown, the life of the wealthy is truly unimaginable. Watching everyone's envious gazes, Jing Xianjing proudly held her gown, stepping down the stairs elegantly. She loved this feeling of superiority, basking in everyone's attention. Xianjing, you look really pretty tonight. Lu Kerson immediately greeted her. Jing Xianjing pulled a slight smile, just mediocre. Another wealthy girl approached, what do you mean, mediocre? You look like a fairy descended from heaven. I think, even fairies aren't as pretty as Xianjing. Listening to everyone's flattery, a proud smile enveloped Jing Xianjing's face, impossible to hide. Just then, Lu Kerson suddenly froze, staring at the staircase. Then another wealthy girl also froze. A collective gasp echoed through the air. Jing Xianjing frowned slightly, wondering what they were looking at. She turned around to follow everyone's gaze. Upon turning, Jing Xianjing also froze. There, coming down the stairs, was a woman in red. Red, a color so vividly intense, yet on her, it seemed as though it was made just for her. The brilliant red set off her skin so fair and lips so fiery. The gown, cinching at the waist, accentuated her delicate figure, making it slender enough to encircle with an arm. Her gown's diamonds made her seem perched upon the clouds, unattainably high. She outshone everyone. Against this striking presence, the previously pure and elegant Jing Xianjing seemed so colorless she virtually vanished, especially since they wore the same style of gown. Jing Xianjing clenched her fists tightly, shaking in fury. Originally, picking red for Enai Yang was supposed to make her look ridiculous. Unexpectedly, it turned out to highlight her spectacularly. Zheng Lingling also couldn't believe she had slipped up. She regretted it. She shouldn't have chosen such a splendid evening gown for Enai Yang. Enai Chengue nearly yelled out, pulling on Enai Kuihua's sleeve, Yang Yang's mom, that's Yang Yang, right? My God. She looks so beautiful. Enai Tsuihua remarked, our Yang Yang has always been this beautiful. Enai Chengue teased with a laugh, look how proud you are. Shangguan Shi excitedly tugged on Shangguan Su, brother, look at Yang Yang. Shangguan Su calmly responded, I see her. Enviously, Shangguan Shi said, I wish I could look as beautiful as Yang Yang. Shangguan Su glanced at her, maybe in your next life. Shangguan Shi, frustrated, hit Shangguan Su. Old Master Zheng, originally chatting with a few old friends, proudly announced after seeing Enai Yang descend, see? That most beautiful girl is my granddaughter. Does your granddaughter have a boyfriend? If not, my grandson is 22 this year, Old Master Zheng hummed, it's settled. My granddaughter has someone in mind already. Stop scheming for her. Seeing Ni Yang stealing all the limelight, Zheng Xianjing's face was nearly twisted with anger. Lu Kerson quickly consoled Xianjing that Ni Yang is just all show and no substance. She can't compare to you at all. You are Mr. Du's life savior, and I've heard all about it. Mr. Du had a very exquisite statue custom-made from top-grade gems for your birthday as a token of his gratitude. Really? Zheng Xianjing was somewhat surprised. Lu Kerson said, "Of course it's true. My dad told me himself. He was the one who received Mr. Du the day he went to select the gems for carving. Mr. Du said it himself that he wanted to give it to the little Miss Zheng from the Zheng family as a birthday gift. Who else could the little Miss Zheng be, besides Zheng Xianjing? In fact, most of the people here tonight came because they had heard about this and wanted to wish Zheng Xianjing a happy birthday. They all wanted to take this opportunity to get acquainted with the legendary Mr. Du, so Mr. Du had actually returned to attend her birthday party." At this moment, Zheng Xianjing had already pushed aside the awkwardness from earlier. Compared to Mr. Du, what was a little embarrassment? With Mr. Du by her side, she would still be the center of attention tonight. Zheng Xianjing was thrilled. Those around her were even more envious. Mr. Du had come to celebrate Zheng Xianjing's birthday in person. Not everyone could claim such an honor. Upon hearing this, Lingling immediately went over to Zheng Xianjing and instructed her, "Xianjing, when Mr. Du arrives, don't act like those other insipid women. You need to show everyone how you can reject Mr. Du." In Beijing, besides Zheng Xianjing, who else could refuse Mr. Du? And yet, Zheng Xianjing had always been refusing him, despite Mr. Du's continuous efforts. After tonight, the whole of Beijing will know, Zheng Xianjing is Mr. Du's life savior. Zheng Xianjing nodded, suppressing the excitement in her heart. "Okay, Mom, I understand." And so, the course of the party changed completely, with everyone discussing Mr. Du. "Did you hear? Mr. Du is coming later." "I already knew about this. Miss Zheng is Mr. Du's life savior, how could Mr. Du not come? Lucky Miss Zheng Xianjing, to be able to even save Mr. Du." "I didn't expect Zheng Xianjing, who appears so frail, to be so deeply capable." "Indeed. Mr. Du's life savior?" Ni Yang raised her eyebrows slightly upon hearing the discussion. It really was quite coincidental. The person she had casually saved also happened to be called Mr. Du. It remained to be seen which Mr. Du was the one famous throughout the 10-mile foreign trade district. Ni Yang didn't dwell on it and proceeded to chat with Shangguan Shi and Shangguan Su. Shangguan Shi said, Yang, your dress looks absolutely beautiful." Ni Yang smiled. "After the banquet, I'll lend it to you." "Really? That would be great." Just then, a commotion arose at the entrance of the banquet hall, and all the guests paused to look. They saw 4 men in suits carrying a dazzling gem statue slowly walking inward. The crystal statue, about the height of half a person, was delicately carved, depicting many splendid peaches, symbolizing longevity. Leading the way, one man was dressed in a black suit. Another was dressed in a simple cloth robe and cloth shoes, holding Buddha beads. Despite his plain attire, every move he made exuded an unapproachable aura of nobility. "That's Mr. Du," someone in the crowd recognized him. Mr. Du had indeed come. Zheng Xianjing didn't know Mr. Du, but she recognized Wang Ziki, Mr. Du's assistant. Smiling slightly, she fluffed her curly hair and, restraining her excited heart, walked step by step towards Mr. Du. "Mr. Du, I think I made it very clear to your assistant, Mr. Wang Ziki, I'm not the type to leverage gratitude for personal gain. Please take your item back." Chapter 803, Bullied Zheng Xianjing. Ugly behavior. Zheng Xianjing spoke with extreme confidence. She knew that Mr. Du was there for her. With so many people at today's birthday banquet, who else could share such glory? Yet, she wanted to be the most unique among them. She intended to refuse Mr. Du and make him fall for her exclusiveness. Zheng Xianjing's words indeed surprised everyone in the banquet hall. My God! No one expected that Zheng Xianjing would actually refuse Mr. Du. Zheng Xianjing enjoyed the stunned looks from everyone, stood up straight, and confidently faced Mr. Du. Just then, Wang Ziki, dressed in a suit, stepped forward. "Excuse me. Miss Zheng, Mr. Du isn't here for you." "Is Miss Ni Yenyang here?" "What?" Jing Xianjing doubted she was hearing things. She was the one who had saved Mr. Du's life. What did Mr. Du want with Ni Yang? Expressions of surprise showed on the faces of others as well. It seemed Jing Xianjing was just being delusional. This was going to be an interesting scene. A VIP arrived at the banquet hall, and Mr. Zheng, the host, couldn't neglect his duties. He immediately approached. "Is this Mr. Du?" "I am Yang Yang's grandfather. May I ask what brings the two of you here for my granddaughter?" Wang Ziki bowed slightly. "Mr. Zheng, this is Mr. Du. We have specifically come to celebrate Miss Ni Yang's birthday." They came for Ni Yang's birthday. They had come to celebrate Ni Yang's birthday. Zheng Xianjing's face turned pale instantaneously. Mr. Zheng was also bewildered. Wasn't Jing Xianjing supposed to be Mr. Du's lifesaver? Why was Mr. Du here to celebrate Ni Yang's birthday instead? Wang Ziki continued to explain. "Hey Race, what happened? A few months ago, Miss Ni Yang once saved Mr. Du. However, at that time, Mr. Du was not aware of Miss Ni's real identity. Coincidentally, your family has two granddaughters of similar age, and Miss Jing Xianjing concealed the truth. So, we took a big detour and misidentified the lifesaver. In reality, it was Miss Ni Yang who actually saved Mr. Du." As soon as he spoke, the place went silent immediately. Jing Xianjing felt her blood run cold, her face turning even paler than paper. Why? Why did it turn out like this? She was the one who had saved Mr. Du. How could it be Ni Yang? The glares from the crowd felt like knives, one after the other slicing through her. Wang Ziki's words were tactfully spoken, implying that Jing Xianjing was essentially a fraud. So she's just a fraud. A fraud dares to play hard to get with Mr. Du? She thought Mr. Du would fancy her? Delusional. TSK, to dare impersonate Mr. Du's lifesaver, that's simply shameless. Someone in the crowd uttered these words. Embarrassment, humiliation, and awkwardness, all these emotions intertwined, and Jing Xianjing could hardly stand still as cold sweat formed layers on her back. She wished she could just disappear into a crack in the floor. She felt like a complete clown, subject to everyone's criticism and ridicule. This also put Mr. Zheng in an awkward position. After all, Jing Xianjing was his granddaughter, and he was profoundly disappointed in her. How could she do such a thing? Zheng Lingling had not expected the situation to take such a turn. She was enjoying the praises of everyone just a second ago, only for things to change abruptly. Zheng Lingling quickly steadied herself, walked over, and managed a faint smile. "Mr. Du, there must be some mistake. Our Xianjing truly is your lifesaver. Ni Yang is just a country girl, how could she possibly save you?" Hearing this, Jing Xianjing clung to Zheng Lingling's sleeve like grasping at the last straw. Yes. Ni Yang was just an uncouth country girl, she couldn't steal her credit. It was she who was Mr. Du's true savior. It was her. At that moment, Mr. Du finally spoke. "I wondered why Miss Jing Xianjing would shamelessly claim this favor. It turns out she has such a great role model in her mother." With that, Mr. Du turned to Mr. Zheng. "Mr. Zheng, you really need to sort out your family manners." Who was Mr. Du? Would he sit idly by while this mother and daughter insulted his lifesaver? He was a man of high position, whose presence alone exuded a compelling aura. Immediately, Jing Lingling found herself speechless, her face turning from red to purple, overcome with shame. Chapter 804, Bullied Jing Xianjing, Unsightly Manners _2. She knew Jing Xianjing wasn't the savior of Master Du, but she never imagined that the person who saved Master Du would be Ni Yang. That country bumpkin Ni Yang, what qualifies her? Previously, I must have been blind not to see the gem in front of me. Turns out, the real Miss Zheng is the one who saved Master Du's life. These two, mother and daughter, are shameless. At this point, they're still desperately struggling? Do they really think Master Du is a fool? That he can't recognize his own lifesaver? Master Zheng's face flashed a shade of embarrassment. You're right. My apologies for this farce, please come inside, Yang is in there. While speaking, he motioned to the servants beside him, hurry and take Madam and the young miss back to their room to rest. Under these circumstances, if Zheng Lingling and Zheng Xianjing continued to stay at the banquet, it would be utterly humiliating. Just a moment ago, the mother-daughter duo Zheng Lingling and Zheng Xianjing were the center of attention, and now, they had become the laughingstock. As she passed by Yang, Zheng Xianjing's eyes were filled with nothing but hate and jealousy. What makes Yang so special? Why should she take credit for what I did? Zheng Xianjing wished she could rush up and tear Yang's face apart, but she managed to hold herself back. She had already been humiliated once. She couldn't allow it to happen a second time. Just wait. She will definitely have her revenge for today's events. Zheng Xianjing's face was deathly pale as she followed Zheng Lingling back to their room. However, the whispers behind her hadn't stopped. Especially those who had been looked down upon by Zheng Xianjing, they were now laughing until tears nearly flooded their eyes. I have to go back and tell Siyu the good news. She'll be so happy when she hears it. Who is Zhang Siyu? Zhang Siyu is the wealthy girl who was severely humiliated by Zheng Xianjing last time. Thinking of the mocking faces of those people, Zheng Xianjing was so furious she was about to explode. Xianjing, as long as Qingshan exists, there's no fear of no firewood. Zheng Lingling held onto Zheng Xianjing's hand. Zheng Xianjing clenched her teeth tightly and nodded her head. Shangguan she pulled on Yang's hand and whispered, Zheng Xianjing really has some nerve, to even dare impersonate Master Du's savior. Doesn't she realize who Master Du is, that a little girl could deceive him? Shangguan she had already seen what Yang was capable of, so Yang having rescued Master Du was not a surprise to her at all. Yang swirled her wine in the tall glass, the liquid rippling in circles under the crystal light, oblivious to the fact that she had become the focal point of the entire hall's discussion. She's still too young, too naive, spoke Yang in an indifferent tone. Shangguan she looked at Yang in surprise. Yang, if I remember correctly, you're actually 2 years younger than Zheng Xianjing, aren't you? Yang was even younger than Zheng Xianjing, yet she was calling Zheng Xianjing a little girl. What was terrifying was that Shangguan she didn't feel any dissonance in her statement. Yang shrugged slightly. Really? I thought she was the same age as me. Adorned in a dazzling red dress, she complimented the liquid in her glass. Her radiant smile was like a blooming flower, bringing to mind an idiom. A beauty so exquisite as jade. In her, there was an added brilliance of attractiveness, grace, and elegance. Master Du raised his brows slightly. This young lady really was full of surprises. Miss Ni, said Master Du as he fingered his Buddha beads and approached Yang. Mr. Du, Yang glanced back slightly. Thank you for your birthday gift, you're too kind. It's the least I could do, said Master Du, you're my lifesaver after all. Yang raised her glass. Here's to you. Thank you. Master Du grabbed a glass of red wine from the table and clinked glasses with Yang. Happy birthday. The warmth of the alcohol spread down his throat, with an indescribable potency. Master Du glanced at the beautiful wine in surprise. Oh, and, Yang went on, this is my sister, Shangguan Shi. Sister Xiaoxi, this is Mr. Du. Master Du nodded. Miss Shangguan. Master Du, Shangguan she had heard tales of Master Du's heroics since she was little. She didn't have the courage to address Master Du in the casual manner that Yang did. Master Du, being a busy man, didn't stay long in the banquet hall. Although it was only for a short time, it still brought endless glory to the Zheng family. Those who had tried to curry favor with Zheng Xianjing earlier by stepping on Yang now regretted their actions deeply. They had been blind, but now, it was too late for regrets. In the room, Zheng Xianjing laid on the bed sobbing uncontrollably, her features twisted. I will never forgive that bitch Yang. Chapter 805, Bullied Zheng Xianjing, Unsightly Manners _3. Xianjing, stop crying, Zheng Lingling comforted her. She too hadn't expected such a thing to happen. She thought today Zheng Xianjing was going to be the highlight of the evening, but instead, she became the laughingstock of the whole event. Who would have thought that Ni Yang would turn out to be Mr. Dust's lifesaver? Zheng Xianjing cried bitterly, and Sun Wu was also frustrated. Chain-smoking, I told you long ago that your plan wouldn't work. When facing someone like Mr. Du, you should cling tightly to him. But the two of you insisted on playing hard to get. Now look, you've messed up and gained nothing for your efforts. He had even thought about becoming Mr. Dust's father-in-law. Now it's all over. Everything is gone. Zheng Lingling scolded, your daughter is like this, and you still have the mood to make sarcastic remarks. Are you still human? Zheng Xianjing cried, it's all that bitch Ni Yang's fault. She stole my thing. Clearly, I was Mr. Dust's lifesaver, there must be something fishy going on. It was that bitch Ni Yang seducing Mr. Du. Definitely. Why did all the good things fall into Ni Yang's lap? Why was she the one who became the joke? Zheng Xianjing truly couldn't accept it. She just couldn't. She extremely loathed Ni Yang. Zheng Lingling said, yes, Xianjing, you're right. That Ni Yang is the bane of our family of three. First, she took our family fortune, and now even your credit. Don't worry, Mom won't let her get away with it. We still have a long way to go. Tonight, although the Jing family had their moment, they also lost face. After the banquet ended, Master Jing's expression was grim as he told the servant, go and call down the madam and miss. Yes, the servant went upstairs to call them. Shortly after, Zheng Lingling and Zheng Xianjing came down from upstairs. The mother and daughter had changed into plain clothes, looking somewhat haggard, especially Zheng Xianjing, whose eyes were swollen from crying. Father, Zheng Lingling took the initiative to speak. Master Zheng with a stern face, said, explain this situation. He hadn't managed affairs in many years, and his sudden stern expression was very oppressive. Zheng Lingling continued, Dad, this incident is all my fault, I didn't teach Xianjing well. If you want to blame someone, blame me. Xianjing is still young, please don't blame her. Young? Master Zheng looked up at Zheng Lingling, you have the audacity to say that. If I'm not mistaken, Yang Yang is even 2 years younger than her. Look at her, and then look at Yang Yang. Is this the daughter you've raised over the years? Zheng Lingling turned pale. In what ways was Zheng Xianjing inferior to Ni Yang? Just because she wasn't as seductive as Ni Yang? This biased old man. He never doubted Ni Yang. Without even investigating, he assumed it was Zheng Xianjing's fault. If this continued, it wouldn't be long before their family of 3 would be kicked out of the house. Zheng Lingling clenched her fingers. Thud. Zheng Xianjing knelt down, Grandfather, I'm sorry, it's my fault, I let greed cloud my judgment. I shouldn't have boasted about being Mr. Dust's lifesaver, causing our Zheng family such disgrace. You can beat or scold me. Master Zheng then said, bring the family discipline. Yes. The servant bowed and went upstairs to fetch the family discipline. The Zheng family's discipline was a leather whip, as thick as an adult's forefinger, which would certainly bruise and break the skin when lashed. Zheng Lingling got a fright, her face turned pale. Zheng Xianjing was frail, how could she withstand such a thick whip? Indeed, one wouldn't know to cherish if not their own blood. If it were Ni Yang, would Master Zheng have allowed someone to bring such a thick whip? Today, Zheng Xianjing made such a mistake, and if she didn't suffer some consequences, Master Zheng couldn't justify it to the outside world. Moreover, the child really did need to be disciplined, otherwise, who knows what she might become. Master Zheng raised the whip and lashed it down on Zheng Xianjing. Zheng Xianjing, terrified, tightly closed her eyes. Bang! The whip was so painful that Zheng Xianjing cried out in pain. She had been pampered since she was a child and had never experienced such beating. When the second lash came, Zheng Lingling timely shielded Zheng Xianjing, and the whip hit her instead. When Master Zheng was angry, Mrs. Zheng stayed silent, just watching the mother and daughter by the side. Chapter 806, Bullied Jing Xianjing, Unsightly Manners _4. Between these two women, one was raised by her own hands. The other she watched grow up from childhood. At this moment, old Madame Zheng looked somewhat distressed and raised her hand to hold old Master Zheng's hand. Since the child already knows her mistake, let's forgive her this time. Zheng Lingling quickly said, Daddy. Xianjing knows she was wrong, please spare Xianjing this once. Old Master Zheng threw down the whip, remember not to make the same mistake again. No matter what, Zheng Xianjing was still his granddaughter, and actually, old Master Zheng felt somewhat reluctant to punish her. Thank you, Dad, thank you, Dad. Zheng Lingling went on, Xianjing, quickly thank Grandpa. Thank you, Grandpa. Old Master Zheng let out a sigh, a prodigal who returns is more precious than gold, get up now. Old Madame Zheng immediately helped the mother and daughter up from the ground. The old woman felt sorry for her daughter and granddaughter, but she ignored the malicious hatred to the extreme in the depths of Zheng Xianjing's eyes. Back in the room, Zheng Lingling applied medicine to Zheng Xianjing's back, and Zheng Xianjing said, Mom, I feel like we're like a dog raised by the Zheng family. They beat us when they want, scold us when they please, and occasionally when they're happy, they throw us a couple of bones. Zheng Lingling's complexion changed. Xianjing, let's endure a bit longer. They had both endured for so many years. What did this moment of suffering matter to them? The next morning, Zheng Xianjing seemed like a different person, her face no longer bearing the previous arrogance, even her clothing was not as bright as before. Her overall demeanor had become much more low-key. To outsiders, Zheng Xianjing's behavior seemed like a sincere act of repentance. But Ni Yang knew that things were far from that simple. Sister, I'm sorry. Zheng Xianjing called out to Ni Yang's retreating figure and offered an apology. Ni Yang smiled faintly, it's okay. Since someone was willing to act, she would accompany her in the act. She loved to act the most. Zheng Xianjing then asked, Sister, you're not mad at me anymore? Ni Yang took Zheng Xianjing's hand, the corners of her mouth curving into shallow dimples, to err is human. As a sister, how could I blame you? Zheng Xianjing's mouth curled into a sneer. She had originally thought Ni Yang had some great ability, but it appeared she was just a fool. Sister? Did Ni Yang really consider her as a sister? Utterly foolish. This time, Zheng Xianjing planned to slowly push Ni Yang into an abyss, from which she would never be able to climb back up. Zheng Xianjing continued, Sister, if you see Teacher Du, please tell him for me that it wasn't intentional what happened, I just didn't know how to begin. If Ni Yang could seduce Teacher Du, why couldn't she? To bring down Ni Yang, she had to start with Teacher Du. She would let Ni Yang bring about her own downfall. So this was the real motive. Ni Yang's lips curved into a slight smile, Sure, sister, I will pass on the message. Zheng Xianjing's thoughts spun, and she continued, Could I trouble you to keep an eye on Teacher Du's whereabouts for me? Ni Yang nodded, Of course. Then I'll be trouble you, sister, said Zheng Xianjing. As you should, Ni Yang's tone was light. The Zheng family waters ran deep, and to uncover the truth, Ni Yang needed to first heal Zheng Suyu. In fact, she was almost fully versed in the 13 needles of hell but lacked the final step, which she needed to discuss with her teacher. After dealing with Zheng Xianjing, Ni Yang rode her bike to her teacher's house. The weather was gradually getting hotter, and very unusually for her, Ni Yang was not wearing a cheongsam today but a white lantern sleeve blouse with black wide-leg trousers. The lantern sleeve blouse was designed by Ni Yang herself and made by a tailor. It combined modern fashion elements with classic ones, and since it was tailored, it fitted her perfectly. The waist-pinching style suited her especially well. Her soft hair cascaded down her back, stirring with the breeze, looking very beautiful. When Ni Yang arrived at her teacher and his wife's home, the old couple were having breakfast. Although Ni Yang had already eaten, she still joined the old couple for a few bites. After eating, Ni Yang began to discuss the 13 needles of hell with her teacher. Teacher Wang said, Yang Yang, You've been very diligent with these 13 needles of hell lately. Tell your teacher honestly, have you encountered some trouble? The 13 needles of hell were very dangerous, and Ni-Young was worried her teacher might be concerned or try to stop her, so she said, I'm just curious, teacher. You're overthinking it. What kind of trouble could I possibly encounter? Chapter 807, Bullied Jing Xianjing, Unsightly Manners _5. Really? Old Wang was somewhat incredulous. Really? Ni-Young nodded. Seeing that Ni-Young didn't seem to be lying, Old Wang didn't press further but said instead, to tell you the truth, I'm quite curious about these Ghost Palace 13 needles. When two medicine fanatics got together, they entered a state of obsession, completely unaware even when someone came to the house. Actually, there's an acupoint song for the Ghost Palace 13 needles, but because the Grand Master feared outsiders would secretly learn it, it was never recorded in medical texts. It's been passed down orally from one generation of disciples to the next. Master, what is the acupoint song? I'd like to hear it, Ni-Young said as she casually picked up a brush, gathered her hair up, secured it at the back of her head, revealing a stretch of fair and graceful neck, her whole being radiated with the vibrancy of youth. It's been too long, and I've forgotten, Old Wang stroked his beard. Please try to remember. Let me think, Old Wang tried hard to recall, then finally slapped his forehead, I remember now, for all illness caused by myriad demons' wild antics, 13 needles points must one acknowledge, first needle the Ghost Palace to start one's round, then needle Ghost Faith, responses abound, one by one in order from head to toe seek. Men start from left, women from right, first needle's place in the center, Ghost Palace is correct, left needle in and right needle out. This is the Grand Master's brilliant secret, mad and malignant spirits all will desert. This was the acupoint song for the Ghost Palace 13 needles. Ni-Young picked up another brush and quickly jotted down the acupoint song on rice paper with flawless accuracy, her writing speed matching Old Wang's speaking pace. The sunlight shone in from outside the door, casting two tall shadows. But nobody noticed this. Master, the acupoint song corresponds to the 13 major acupoints of the human body. Generally speaking, as long as you target these 13 major points, there wouldn't be much room for error. Yet Ni-Young felt that it couldn't be that simple, there must be something missing. Old Wang's eyes lit up, Yang, your brush writing is quite good. Young people nowadays who can write with a brush are few and far between. Nowadays people use fountain pens, ballpoint pens, pencils. Old-fashioned things like brushes have long been phased out. But Old Wang was different, after all, he had lived through that era and was a man who cherished the past, so he always kept brushes, and only used brushes at home. Ni-Young smiled and said, Master, you have a good eye. I also think my writing looks quite nice. Old Wang didn't feel that his disciple was being vain at all and nodded, of course, could my eye for talent ever be poor? Outside, the corners of a man's mouth twitched. Dad! Just then, a rough male voice rang through the air. Old Wang was stunned. Was he hearing things? Dad! Old Wang turned around sharply and saw the son he had been longing to see. 2 years apart, and that rascal seemed to have grown tall again. Dad! Wang Ziki walked over and embraced Old Wang, his voice trembling. Old Wang couldn't help his eyes from reddening. He even doubted if he was dreaming. Old Wang stealthily pinched his thigh. Ouch! It hurt like hell. This wasn't a dream. Dad, I've missed you so much. Wang Ziki burst into tears. Boss Wang said with a stern face, a man should not lightly shed tears, what's there to cry about? Hold those tears back. Despite being on the verge of tears himself, he was still seriously chastising his foolish son. Wang Ziki wiped his face with his sleeve. Dad, where's Mom? Boss Wang replied, your mom went to the vegetable garden. The vegetable garden is where they grow their own vegetables since they live in the countryside and have to grow what they eat. Oh, Wang Ziki nodded and then added, by the way, Dad, this is my boss, Mr. Du. Old Wang knew of Mr. Du by reputation but had never met him before. Mr. Du, it's a pleasure. Uncle, Mr. Du said, twirling his Buddha beads, nodding slightly. Old Wang took another look at Mr. Du, feeling that this Mr. Du was very different from the rumors, resembling more a schoolteacher from the Republic era, genteel and elegant. Just then, as if suddenly remembering something, Old Wang gestured to Ni Yang, Yang, come here. Ziki, this is the apprentice I've taken on recently. Before Old Wang could finish speaking, Ni Yang smiled and said, Master, I've already met my senior brother. With that said, she greeted Mr. Du. Mr. Du nodded in acknowledgement. Old Wang exclaimed in surprise, Yang, how do you two know each other? Ni Yang succinctly replied, Master, isn't there a family portrait in the living room? One day I saw someone on the street who looked exactly like senior brother from the portrait, so we got to know each other. Chapter 808, Bullied Jingxianjing, Unsightly Manners _6. Upon hearing this, Old Wang directly gave Wang Ziki a punch to the head. You little bastard, you come to Beijing and don't even think to visit your old man and mother. I really wasted my effort raising you. Wang Ziki, looking simple and honest, didn't know how to explain. Dad, I'm sorry, Old Wang huffed. I'm not your dad. Just then, noises came from the entrance. It was Wang Zhosher returning. Wang Zhosher wasn't as calm as Old Wang. She hugged her son, whom she hadn't seen for 2 years, and cried out loud. Ni Yang stood to the side, the corners of his mouth turning up in a subdued smile. He had finally fulfilled his former master and mistress dream. The last time his former master and mistress saw their son, who had been missing for 2 years, the vibrant boy they remembered had been turned into a cold corpse. One could imagine the couple's feelings at the time. Such despair. Now that their son had finally come back, the couple was overjoyed. Wang Zhosher even slaughtered 2 chickens and a big goose. Although Old Wang seemed a bit unhappy on the surface, he was actually very pleased. I'll go catch some shrimp in the river. Go ahead, Wang Zhosher said with a smile, be careful. Emichim, Old Wang nodded. Wang Ziki was busy catching up with Wang Zhosher. Mother and son had so much to talk about after all these years apart. As a result, only Ni Yang and Grandpa Du were left in the living room. Ni Yang was busy researching the 13 ghost needles and had no time to deal with Grandpa Du, so the scene became Ni Yang reading medical texts. Grandpa Du counting Buddha beads. The only sound in the air was the flipping of pages. Although no one was speaking, the scene wasn't awkward. After lunch, Wang Ziki seemed to remember something important. Dad, Grandpa Du hasn't been feeling well lately. Could you please take a look at him? Old Wang looked at Ni Yang. Yang, you've followed behind me for so long, why don't you try to put your learning into practice? Grandpa Du, these master and disciple. One just happened to save him, the other wanted to use him for practice. It really fit the saying. If you're not family, you won't enter the same door. Ni Yang nodded, okay. Grandpa Du's lips twitched, she really dared. Ni Yang walked over to Grandpa Du. Could you please extend your right hand? Grandpa Du did as asked. The cold fingertips rested on his wrist for quite a while, yet there was no sound. Grandpa Du looked up and asked, is there any hope? Ni Yang withdrew her fingers. It's not that serious, Mr. Du, this is an old ailment. The toxins accumulated in your body haven't been completely cleared. Just a couple of prescriptions should alleviate the fatigue. Grandpa Du slowly retracted his hand and straightened his sleeves. Then ill trouble, Miss Ni. The young lady was still able to discern his old ailment, which meant she had some skill. However, Grandpa Du had already figured she had good medical skills, otherwise, she wouldn't have left the right pills for him that night. A doctor's heart is like that of a parent's, it's only right, Ni Yang said in a muted tone as she took out a writing brush to prescribe the medicine. A doctor's heart is indeed like that of a parent's, the saying goes. But Grandpa Du felt something was off. After the prescription was written, Ni Yang handed it to Old Wang. Master, please have a look. Old Wang took the prescription and moved next to Grandpa Du. Forgive the trouble, Grandpa Du, but please extend your hand again. Grandpa Du extended his hand. As old Wang felt Grandpa Du's pulse, he understood why Yang hadn't said anything for so long. Grandpa Du's pulse was indeed peculiar. Old Wang felt the pulse while looking at the prescription Yang wrote, nodding repeatedly. Good, good, good. You are truly a disciple worthy of being trained by Wang Yu. Such talent, such intellect, how could an ordinary person compare? In a short while, old Wang put away the prescription and then said, Grandpa Du, Yang's prescription can cure your old ailment. You've really encountered a savior today. Grandpa Du put away the prescription. Thank you. That afternoon, because someone from the village came to seek treatment and a particular rare herb was missing, the patient's condition was quite urgent. Old Wang had no choice but to go up the mountain with a basket to gather herbs. Yang approached. Master, it's getting late now, you're getting on in years, and it's not safe to go up the mountain. Let me go instead. It had rained last night, and the mountain was likely to be filled with miasma, and Yang was worried for old Wang. Old Wang laughed. Listen to you, girl, if a big man like me isn't safe, how could a young lass like you be any safer? Let the master go. Yang took the basket off old Wang. Don't forget, master, I'm quite skilled. Besides, today is Big Brother's first day back, you should stay and keep him company at home. Chapter 809, Bully Jing Xianjing, Unsightly Manners _7. Old Wang was left speechless by her remarks, but still expressed his concern. Yang, are you sure you can manage alone? Sure, no problem. Yang slung her carrying basket on her back, waved to old Wang, and turned to leave. Old Wang watched Yang's retreating figure with worry. By chance, at this moment, Master Du came out of the house. Old Wang grabbed hold of Master Du and said, Master Du, the girl Yang has gone up to the mountain alone. If it's not too much trouble, could you please go and check on her? After all, Yang was Master Du's lifesaver. It wasn't too much to ask Master Du to ensure Yang's safety. Besides, with Master Du around, who was the grim reaper of the 10-mile foreign market, old Wang felt very secure. Master Du's expression was unfazed. First, they had used him for sparring, and now they were actually asking him to play bodyguard. What was this all about? If word got out, it would ruin his reputation for life, but out of respect for old Wang as an elder, and given that Yang had saved him before, Master Du did not refuse. All right, uncle, I'll go now. But this was only a one-time exception. Old Wang, touched, said, then I'll have to trouble you, Master Du, holding his Buddha beads, headed in the direction Yang had gone, pursuing steadily. On the other side, where Wu Yanyan was. Thanks to Yang's support, Wu Yanyan finally managed to eat nearly 2 full meals at home. However, this quickly drew Grandma Wu's dissatisfaction. She felt that Wu Yanyan really didn't understand anything. Even she, as a grandmother, hadn't filled her belly, yet Wu Yanyan was only looking out for herself. A 17-year-old girl, yet not as sensible as a 7-year-old child. She had given Wu Yanyan hints, both openly and covertly, on so many occasions, but Wu Yanyan just didn't get it, bowl after bowl. So selfish. Grandma Wu, watching Wu Yanyan polish off 2 bowls of congee, could only feel a headache coming on. She put down her chopsticks and said discontentedly, I'm full. Wu Jinshu, surprised, said, Mom, you only had half a bowl. Are you feeling unwell? It's nothing, don't fuss over me. Grandma Wu stood up. I'm going out for a walk. Watching Grandma Wu's departing figure, Yen Erju said, what's going on with Mom? Wu Jinshu shook his head. Who knows? Let it go, let it go. Don't worry about her, let's eat our meal. Wu Yanyan's hand froze while holding her bowl. She felt that her grandma was upset because of her. But she hadn't eaten that much, had she? Normally, when she was hungry, she would have to drink 4 bowls of such thin congee. Today, she had barely had 2 small bowls. Maybe she was overthinking it. Grandma Wu walked all the way to a house that was very stylishly decorated and knocked on the luxurious iron gate. "Lanzi, are you home?" "Lanzi." Soon, the robust Wulan walked out of the house, all smiles. "Auntie, it's such a rare pleasure to see you. Come in, please come in." In present-day terms, Wu Lan's status would be considered that of a landlord. She had over 30 houses, collecting an average of 300 yuan in rent each month. In an era when the average wage was about 30 yuan, Wu Lan was living the dream life everyone yearned for. Wu Lan's house was a 3-story Western-style building beautifully decorated on the inside. Grandma Wu sighed, "If I could live in a Western-style building like this just once in my life, I'd die content." Wu Lan laughed and said, "Auntie, you're too modest. Your good fortune is still ahead of you." Seated inside, Wu Lan courteously offered Grandma Wu some pastries and tea. Having not eaten her fill at home, Grandma Wu ate several pieces of egg cake and even stealthily pocketed one, intending to bring it back for her eldest grandson. Wu Lan noticed Grandma Wu's sneaky move but said nothing about it. Although Grandma Wu's manners were unsightly, she was there to ask a favor, wasn't she? After eating and drinking her fill, Grandma Wu continued, "Lanzi, those things you mentioned to your auntie last time, are they still valid?" Chapter 8:10. Be a worldly person who drinks alcohol and eats meat. Hearing this, Wu Lan's smile brightened even more. "Of course, it counts." "Auntie, have you made up your mind?" Grandma Wu hesitated, then said, "I still need to think it over." Wu Lan then picked up another egg cake and stuffed it into Grandma Wu's hand. "Auntie, you really should think it over. My brother has such good conditions. If Yanyan marries him, she'll just be responsible for giving birth to a child for my brother. All she needs to do is take good care of my mom and the 2 kids, she doesn't have to do any other hard work. She can just enjoy her easy life at home." Wu Lan had a younger brother named Wu Chang, 35 years old this year. He had been widowed 2 years earlier and hadn't found a suitable match, so when Wu Lan saw that Wu Yanyan was quite good-looking and still a maiden, she wanted to introduce Wu Yanyan to Wu Chang. Grandma Wu continued, "Lanzi, how old is your brother this year? How many people are in his family? I didn't quite catch it last time, tell me about it in detail this time." Wu Lan poured a cup of tea for Grandma Wu. "My brother is 35 this year. That dead wife of his left behind 2 daughters, the oldest is 9 this year, and the younger is 7. Then there's just my mom at home, no one else. Don't worry, my brother's household is very simple. After Yanyan marries him, certainly no one will be able to bully her." Grandma Wu frowned. "At 35 years old, that's a bit old, and he has 2 children. Our Jin Shu is also only 35 years old." Wu Lan continued, "Auntie, don't look at my brother's age, but he has good conditions. You see our family is doing pretty well, right? My brother's conditions are even better than mine. My brother owns 30 apartments. The house you are renting now, just in front of that, belongs to my brother. Auntie, if this goes through, I can talk to my brother about giving you that house in front. He has so many apartments, he wouldn't miss one." Wu Lan spoke with the confidence of wealth, and Grandma Wu was astounded, asking hurriedly, "The 2-story Western-style house with a yard just in front?" "That's right." Wu Lan nodded, "That's the 2-story Western-style house with a yard. I'm telling you, that house is well insulated against the heat of summer and the cold of winter. It's not any worse than this house we're in." Grandma Wu had always envied the owner of that Western-style house with a yard. She never imagined that it belonged to Wu Lan's brother. Getting a house upon a successful arrangement, it did seem that Wu Lan's brother really was well off. Wu Lan, observing the change in Grandma Wu's expression, added, "Auntie, Dalong and Erlong haven't started school yet, have they? How can boys not go to school these days? Without an education, they'll struggle to find wives in the future." Wu Dalong and Wu Erlong were of school age, yet neither was attending school. It wasn't for lack of trying, but their family's financial situation couldn't keep up. Grandma Wu was worried too. After all, they were boys. What if they truly couldn't find wives when the time came? It must be said that Wulan had precisely struck Grandma Wu's most sensitive spot. Watching Grandma Wu's expression, Wulan pressed on, "Auntie, even if not for anything else, you should consider it for the kids' sakes. Brother Jin Shu and his wife have been in Beijing for many years and still don't have their own place to live. If Yanyan marries my brother, not only can he ensure Dalong and Erlong go to school, but he can also solve your housing problem. With a house, you can also move your household registration here, and your family will become locals in Beijing. Then, young girls will be throwing themselves at you. Why worry about Dalong and Erlong not finding wives?" The terms Wulan offered were too favorable. Grandma Wu couldn't help but be moved. Her 2 grandsons would be able to attend school, they would have a Western-style house to live in, and become Beijing locals. This was the life she had longed for in her dreams. Yet she was, after all, a relative of the bride's side. She needed to maintain some decorum. It wasn't like her granddaughter couldn't find a husband. Grandma Wu took a bite of the egg cake and said, "Although that's what you say, your brother is looking for a second marriage and already has 2 children, whereas our Yenyun is still an untouched girl." Wulan patted Grandma Wu's hand. "Auntie, I am someone who doesn't beat around the bush and I don't speak falsely. If what I say sounds unpleasant, please don't be angry. If your Yenyun wasn't a maiden, with my brother's conditions, he really wouldn't consider Yenyun at all." Grandma Wu choked. Although Wu Lan's words were a bit harsh, they were indeed the truth. Wu Lan's brother had superior conditions, wealth, and property. What did Wu Yenyun have? Wu Yenyun was nothing more than a few years younger than Wu Lan's brother. Chapter 8:11. Be a worldling and drink alcohol and eat meat _2. Wu Lan continued, "My brother is very proud, always wanted to find an unmarried girl. Otherwise, he would have married long ago. Why would he still be waiting? You don't know how many divorced women are willing to pay to marry my brother." Wu Lan wasn't really bragging. Wu Chang himself was quite a catch, and countless divorced women wanted to be with him. Unfortunately, Wu Chang didn't want anyone who had been married before. Actually, with Wu Chang's qualities, finding an unmarried girl would be very easy, but Wu Chang also demanded that the woman be beautiful. In Beijing, there was no shortage of pretty, young girls, but how many parents were willing to let their precious, unmarried daughters become stepmothers? That's why Wu Chang still hadn't found the right match. Right when Wu Yanyan's family moved in, Wu Lan noticed that Wu Yanyan was quite beautiful, sensible, and dutiful, so she thought of introducing her to her brother. With Wu Chang's excellent prospects, Grandma Wu didn't want to give up. She had been alive for so many years but had never once lived in a Western-style house. She dreamt of living like city people, in a Western-style house, if only just once. "I can't decide for Yenyun on this matter. I need to ask Jin Shu and his wife." Wu Lan took Grandma Wu's hand. "Auntie, you are Yanyan's biological grandmother. How come you don't have the final say in this matter?" Grandma Wu sighed. "How can I make the decision for the 2 of them?" Wu Lan went on, "Then you must go back and have a serious talk with brother Jin Shu and your sister-in-law. If you miss this opportunity, there won't be another. I'm only mentioning this because your family has rented our house for so long, we're practically family. I wouldn't even consider outsiders. Not just anyone can marry my brother." Grandma Wu stood up. "All right, let's leave it at that for now. I'm heading back. I'll walk you out." Wu Lan escorted Grandma Wu to the gate. Grandma Wu's bounded feet moved slowly. A journey that ordinary people could complete in 15 minutes took her over 40 minutes to reach home. Upon arriving home, Wu Yenyun was washing dishes in the kitchen. Yan Erju was breastfeeding her child, while Wu Jinshu was feeding the ducks in the yard. These ducks were freshly caught, still fluffy and yellow. Wu Jinshu fed them and said, "Eat up, little ducks. Whether our 3 kids can go to school depends on you." Grandma Wu approached. "You're counting on these ducks to pay for the kids' schooling?" Wu Jinshu nodded, his face full of longing. "Mom, don't underestimate these ducks. There are 10 of them. Once they grow up, they'll become big ducks. The big ducks will lay eggs and hatch more ducklings, and then we can sell them for money, right?" These 10 ducklings had cost the couple nearly all their savings, which were only possible thanks to the 13 yuan Ni Yang had given them last time. Otherwise, they barely scraped by each month, with no spare cash to buy ducklings. Grandma Wu chuckled, waiting for these ducklings to grow up, lay eggs, and hatch new ones will take ages. You might be able to wait, but the children can't. Come with me, I need to talk to you. Wu Jinshu put down the dipper and followed Grandma Wu into the house. Grandma Wu glanced outside before closing the door. Wu Jinshu asked, puzzled, Mom, what do you want to talk about? You're being so secretive. Grandma Wu pulled Wu Jinshu to sit down and her eyes quickly became red-rimmed. Jinshu, you're not well, and we have so many kids to support, plus this old lady dragging you down. It's been hard on you these years. Mom. What are you talking about? Dragging me down? You're my mother, it's only right for me to take care of you. And I don't feel burdened at all. I have sons and daughters, a wife and a mother, I feel luckier than anyone. The rich have their joys, and the poor have theirs. Wu Jinshu was content with his life, never feeling overburdened or complaining. Grandma Wu wiped away her tears, yet, I just can't help but feel for you. Wu Jinshu was 35. Wu Lan's brother Wu Chang was also 35. Wu Chang had money and a house, everything. What did Wu Jinshu have? He didn't even have the money to send his kids to school. So young and already in poor health. Every parent feels for their child. Mom, you're overthinking it. I'm living a good life, what is there to feel sorry for? Wu Jinshu helped Grandma Wu dab her tears. Chapter 8:12, Be a worldling and drink alcohol and eat meat. 3. After crying for a while, Grandma Wu took 2 egg cakes out of her pocket. Here, take these, have a good nourishment, but don't give them to anyone else. Grandma Wu had gotten a total of 4 egg cakes, with 2 earmarked for Wu Dalong and Wu Erlong. Mom, where did you get these? Yen Yun asked. Egg cakes sold for more than 1 yuan per pound on the street, which their family couldn't afford. They were from Wu Lan, Grandma Wu replied, adding, Wu Lan is a kind-hearted good person. Wu Jinshu also had a favorable impression of this landlord. When they initially rented the house, Wu Lan had even given them a 2 yuan discount. Wu Jinshu said, You eat them, Grandma. I'm still young, I don't need them. Grandma Wu sternly said, If I tell you to take them, just take them. I've already eaten. Upon finishing her sentence, Grandma Wu continued, Jinshu, having so many kids at home isn't a solution. Yen Yun is not that young anymore. Maybe we should consider finding a good family for her to marry into. Our circumstances aren't great, finding her a good family could allow her to lead a comfortable life. No way. Wu Jinshu immediately objected. Yen Yun is only 17 years old this year. How can we talk about marriage? I want her to continue studying. A girl, sooner or later, will have to get married. What's the use of studying so much? Grandma Wu persisted. In the past, girls her age already had several children. Grandma Wu's thinking had been deeply ingrained from the old society, how could it be changed easily? Wu Jinshu said, The past is the past, and now is now, Mom. Men and women are equal now. Besides, Teacher Zhao said Yen Yun is a promising student and she's bound to get into a good university. I would go to any length to ensure Yen Yun gets an education. Yen Yun had always been in school until the Wu family could no longer afford the tuition, which is why she had dropped out to take care of children at home. The teacher had made countless home visits to get Yen Yun back to school. But the family was just too poor. Grandma Wu sighed. We don't have enough money for our own sons to attend school, and now we're pushing to send a girl to school. Honestly, I wonder whether this father is really related by blood. Wu Jinshu frowned slightly and lowered his voice. Mom, didn't we agree not to bring this up anymore? Why are you starting again? Yen Yun was not the biological daughter of Wu Jinshu and Erju. Wu Jinshu and Erju had been married for over a year without having children, until the second year, when Erju, while chopping wood in the mountains, found newborn Yenyun, whose umbilical cord hadn't even been cut. This was also the origin of Yenyun's name. She was the one Erju encountered. Another reason was that a wandering Taoist said Yenyun was the reincarnation of a fortunate star from heaven, capable of bringing new opportunities to the Wu family and ensuring the continuation of their family line, which is why she was named Yenyun. Meat and Chinese characters combined the surname of the husband and wife, making her full name Wu Yenyun. Interestingly, when Yenyun was 8 years old, Erju indeed became pregnant and smoothly gave birth to Wu Dalong. When Yenyun was 11, Erju gave birth to Wu Erlong, and last year, to Wu Xiaolong. The births of these 3 children one after another made the couple very happy, and their fondness for Yenyun grew as well. They believed it was Yenyun who had brought these new opportunities to the Wu family. Do you think I want to bring this up? I mentioned it because it seems you've even forgotten your own sons. Grandma Wu grabbed Wu Jinshu's hand. Jinshu, I'm 67 this year and who knows when my time will come. If I don't see Dalong and Erlong going to school and your family living in a small Western-style house before I go, I won't be at peace. As long as the family is healthy and happy, it doesn't matter where we live, Mom. You really don't need to worry about this, Wu Jinshu said. Upon hearing this, Grandma Wu felt her nose twitch and started crying again. You keep saying you want to honor me. Is this how you honor me? Everyone else's parents are living in small Western-style houses, and here am I, staying in this dark, haunted place. People aspire to move up, water flows downhill. Do you think I don't want to live in a small Western-style house? Your father died early, and it was I who brought you up single-handedly, carrying you through the Great Famine. I chewed on tree barks and ate clay. Think about it, when did I ever let you and your sister eat such things? A child doesn't know the parent's heart, a child doesn't know. Grandma Wu's spouse had died early, leaving her to raise 2 children alone. Chapter 8:13. Be a worldling and drink alcohol and eat meat. 4. Being a woman with bound feet, she couldn't handle heavy labor. Over those years, to bring up her 2 children, she endured every hardship imaginable. Wu Jinshu knew his mother had suffered a great deal and sighed, Mom, it's my fault for being useless, for not having the ability to get you a nice Western-style house to live in. But rest assured, I believe that one day, our family will be able to live in one. Grandma Wu wiped away her tears. Will you burn one for me when I die? Living in a Western-style house is easier said than done. With the current economic situation of Wu Jinshu and Yen Erju, dreaming of a Western-style house was like waiting till the cows come home. Wu Jinshu helplessly replied, Mom, don't talk like that, it's bad luck. Grandma Wu continued, all I'm asking is for Yenyun to get married. Go and ask around, let everyone judge whether what I'm asking as a grandma is too much. Does any family's girl not get married? Does any family's boy not take a wife? What, is your daughter made of gold or something? That she won't get married in this lifetime? Wu Jinshu sighed, it's not about not getting married, the thing is Yenyun is still too young. She's already 17, not 7. Grandma Wu retorted. And you're not even her real father, you've done enough by raising her all these years. With a helpless sigh, Wu Jinshu said, My dear mother. Why do you keep bringing this up? In my heart, Yenyun is as much my own daughter as Dalong, Erlong, and Xiaolong. I'm her real grandma, aren't I? Grandma Wu said. The way you talk makes me sound like an evil grandmother. I just want her to get married for her own good. Given our situation, staying with us is just suffering. She would be better off getting married early and enjoying life. I'm thinking of her well-being. How great are the circumstances at Wu Chang's house. Once Yenyun marries into that family, she would be able to enjoy the good things in life, not just for herself but she would make things better for her own family too. Wu Jinshu stood up and headed outside. Mom, don't bring this up again in the future. Yenyun will always be my daughter. I'm going out to feed the ducks. Jinshu. Grandma Wu grabbed hold of Wu Jinshu's sleeve. Jinshu, listen to me, I really found her a good match. The boy's family owns over 30 houses, and he even promised me that once the deed is done, he would give us one. The house in front of our place, the 2-story Western-style one with a yard, you always say how nicely it's been constructed, right? Wu Jinshu shook off Grandma Wu's hand and said softly, no matter how nice the house is, would never trade my daughter for it. How could that be considered trading? We are marrying off a daughter, said the exasperated Grandma. Besides, they even said they could transfer our whole family's registration to Beijing, and then we would become Beijingers. Mom, please don't talk about this anymore. Even if you do, I will never agree. This is absolutely impossible. Wu Jinshu himself might not be Yan Yan's biological father, but he and Yan Erju had raised her with their own hands. She might not be his own flesh and blood, but he cherished her just the same. He couldn't bring himself to do such a thing. Wu Jinshu opened the door and left Grandma Wu's room. Watching Wu Jinshu's departing figure, Grandma Wu sighed deeply. She just couldn't understand. Was that adopted child really that important? More important than a Western-style house and her own son? She couldn't fathom what kind of father Wu Jinshu was. After all, she wasn't trying to harm Yan. She was looking to secure her a life of comfort. Most people couldn't even dream of marrying someone like Wu Chang. A child doesn't stay under parents' control forever. Grandma Wu wiped away her tears, recalling the hardships of her past and the grievances of the present. The more she thought about it, the sadder she became, crying so much that her eyes swelled. When she was young, she went without food and clothes. Now that she was old, she was still depriving herself. What for? For this family, for the children. But no one appreciated her efforts. They were all good people, and she was the only bad one. No, this time she would have that Western-style house, or else she couldn't die in peace. Seeing Wu Jinshu emerge from Grandma Wu's room, Yan Erju tugged at his sleeve. What was Mom talking to you about? It seemed so secretive, with the door shut and all. To avoid friction between mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, of course, Wu Jinshu couldn't tell the truth. He pulled out 2 egg cakes from his pocket. You know how my mom is. She's always worried that I'm suffering. Someone gave her 2 egg cakes, and she insisted on giving them to me. You take them to eat. I'm a grown man, I can't stomach such rich food. Chapter 8:14. Be a worldling and drink alcohol and eat meat. 5. Erju Yen stuffed the egg cake back into her husband's hand. You keep what's given to you. Your health has always been poor. Jinshu Wu smiled. All right, then we'll each have one. Erju then asked, didn't Mom say anything else to you? No, Jinshu answered. What could an old woman who never leaves the house possibly have to say? Erju figured that made sense, so she didn't press further. Then I'll take this egg cake to Xiaoyan. Erju was very fond of her daughter Yanyan. No matter what goodies she had, her 2 sons would have to step aside. The first person she thought of was always her daughter Yanyan. On the other side, Mr. Du quickly caught up with Ni Yang. Why are you here? Ni Yang looked back, puzzled. Twisting his Buddha beads, Mr. Du said, your master is worried about you going up the mountain alone. Ni Yang grinned, what's there to worry about? Can a big living person like me get lost? Mr. Du, please go back. Mr. Du took a step forward. I do not make promises lightly. Since I've agreed to your master, I won't let him worry. Hurry up then, it's about to get dark. Hearing this, Ni Yang had no choice but to follow. Soon enough, the 2 of them entered the mountains. It had rained the previous night. The mountain air was incredibly fresh, with unknown flowers blooming among the grass, looking gorgeous. As she walked, Ni Yang picked flowers. In no time, she gathered a large handful, the dazzling colors complementing her jade-like face. It was truly a case of the lady being lovelier than the flowers. Mr. Du followed behind. Didn't your teacher ever teach you to protect plants and flowers? Ni Yang placed the flowers into her basket. Didn't your teacher ever teach you to be more flexible in your thinking? The ancient said, if you have flowers, you should pick them before they wilt, don't wait for the branches to become bare. Mr. Du was speechless. This young girl always managed to leave him at a loss for words. For the rest of the time, Mr. Du simply kept silent, quietly following behind. Conveniently, Ni Young preferred not to be disturbed while she was digging for herbal medicine. The mountain woods were well preserved at this time, with all kinds of herbs to be found. The more Ni Young dug, the less she wanted to return. She even encountered several plants that had disappeared in later ages. Mr. Du leaned against a pine tree, half closing his eyes, slowly twirling the Buddha beads in his hand. At that moment, he suddenly opened his eyes and said to Ni Young, "Don't move." Above Ni Young, in the branches of a tree, coiled a bamboo viper, flicking its tongue. The bamboo viper was a terrifyingly venomous snake. A single bite could be crippling, if not fatal. Just as Mr. Du was about to make a move, Ni Young swiftly stood up and with lightning speed, grasped the 7-inch of the viper, even faster than the snake itself. It was a second that could make one's heart race. Holding the viper's 7-inch in one hand, Ni Young drew a shining dagger from her waist with the other, deftly extracted the snake gall, popped it into her mouth, and swallowed it whole. It was incredibly cool. The whole scene left Mr. Du open-mouthed in astonishment. Was she really a woman? Mr. Du began to doubt Ni Yang's gender. Over the years, Mr. Du had seen girls from all over Jiangnan, but he had never seen any quite like Ni Yang. Able to fight, skilled in medical arts, adept at collecting herbs, and unafraid of snakes. And then to swallow a snake gall whole. Are these things that a girl should do? Yet Ni Yang had done just that. Having smoothly swallowed the snake gall, Ni Yang looked up at Mr. Du. Snake gall is a valuable thing. It can dispel wind and dampness, cool the eyes, detoxify prickly heat, and it's highly nourishing. Want to try one? Though she had just killed a snake, not a trace of blood stained her hands. If one hadn't seen it with their own eyes, who would believe such a delicate young lady was capable of such incredible feats? Clutching his Buddha beads, Mr. Du fought down his roiling stomach, shaking his head, "No, no thank you." Seeing Mr. Du's pale face, Ni Yang laughed. "Are you really the Mr. Du who's feared by both men and ghosts in the foreign districts? Is it so scary to swallow a snake gall?" Mr. Du, on the way down the mountain, Ni Yang caught a wild chicken with shiny feathers. Just when Mr. Du thought Ni Yang would comment on the chicken's beauty, she directly said, "This beautiful wild chicken will make the most delicious roasted chicken." Mr. Du's mouth twitched. Why on earth did Master Wang ask him to protect Ni Yang? Chapter 8:15, Be a commoner, drink alcohol and eat meat. 6. The protected ones should be the small animals in the mountains. Fortunately, Ni Yang only came to pick some herbal medicine. If Ni Yang lived in the mountains year-round, wouldn't she scare away all the small animals? While walking, Ni Yang suddenly stopped. Master Du did not expect her to stop so abruptly and bumped right into a human wall, nearly falling as his steps wavered. A pale hand quickly grabbed his wrist and then just as swiftly let go. "Watch where you're going." Master Du steadied himself. What happened? Ni Yang looked around. It seems we're lost. By this time, the sky had gradually darkened, and various sounds of small animals echoed through the forest, which would certainly make anyone with a faint heart tremble with fear. Master Du, who had plenty of outdoor experience, said, "It's the ghost hitting the wall." Ni Yang massaged her temples. "What should we do?" Master Du remained unperturbed, playing with his Buddha beads. "Now we can only wait until the sun comes out tomorrow morning to leave." Ni Yang sighed and took off her backpack. "Then that's the only option." Master Du looked at Ni Yang, bewildered. "Ghost hitting the wall, aren't you afraid?" A normal young lady hearing ghost hitting the wall wouldn't react so indifferently. Ni Yang sat down against a pine tree. "What's there to be afraid of? It's not like there are real ghosts. The mountains harbored miasma, and it was pitch black all around. Encountering ghost hitting the wall was quite normal. Actually, ghost hitting the wall isn't really about ghosts. It's just a phenomenon. Biology had already provided a definite answer. When people lose their sense of direction, everything around them appears circular, so they keep going around in the same place. They can only wait for the sun to come out in the morning to regain their sense of direction. Master Du chuckled, "You seem to know quite a bit." "That I do," Yang replied unabashedly. Master Du played with his Buddha beads and remained silent. Yang took a water bottle out of her backpack, took several gulps, and then turned to Master Du. "Are you thirsty?" After walking half a day in the mountains, how could he not be thirsty? But sharing a water bottle between a man and a woman, that seemed somewhat improper. Just then, Yang tossed him a bright red fruit. "This wild fruit is full of water and quenches thirst very well." Master Du paused, then accurately caught the wild fruit. "Thank you." Yang continued, "If one isn't enough, there are more in the backpack." "Where did they come from?" Master Du asked. "I picked them while I was gathering herbal medicine," Yang replied. Master Du bit into a wild fruit. Crunch. Indeed, the fruit was very juicy and crispy. It tasted great. As darkness deepened, Yang pulled a shiny bead out of her pocket and placed it on a branch, instantly lighting up the area. A good item indeed. It was far better than an electric light. Master Du, surprised, said, "I thought you sold that bead?" Yang took out a dagger and swiftly slit the throat of the roasted chicken. "I was planning to sell it, but unfortunately, I met a boss who didn't appreciate its value." "I see." Master Du's expression softened, turning to look at Yang, and his gaze shifted back to astonishment. "What are you doing?" "Killing the chicken," Yang answered casually. "Why kill the chicken?" Yang responded incredulously, "Of course to eat it." "Do you want to go hungry tonight?" After a pause, Yang added, "Do you know how to make a fire?" There was no shortage of twigs all over the mountain. "I don't have matches," Master Du said. "You don't smoke?" Yang asked. Grandpa Du shook his head. "Not smoking is good," Yang continued. "Then do you know how to start a fire by rubbing sticks together?" "Rubbing sticks together to start a fire?" Grandpa Du, with a bewildered look on his face, said, "I'm not a caveman." "Then do you know how to kill a chicken?" Yang asked again. "I'm not a butcher either," Grandpa Du replied. Though Grandpa Du had extensive wilderness experience, it didn't mean he knew how to do everything. Moreover, whenever he was in the wilderness, there were always plenty of people around him, so there was no need for him to do anything himself. Yang, speechless, said, "How come you don't know how to do anything?" "Grandpa Du, I'm not omnipotent." Yang slightly raised her eyebrows. "Then can you eat?" Grandpa Du, Yang, with a look of disdain, said, "Forget it, I'll do it myself." Self-reliance ensures abundance. Grandpa Du, soon, the air was filled with the sizzling sound of fat dripping and the distinctive aroma of roasted chicken. Grandpa Du hadn't imagined that the principle of creating fire by rubbing wood sticks was actually real. He was even more surprised that Yang could roast a wild chicken so deliciously in the wilderness. The bright flames reflected a pair of shallow eyes. She propped her chin with one hand and held a stick with the other, focusing entirely on the oil-sputtering roasted chicken. This reminded Grandpa Du of the fire fox he was raising. Grandpa Du leaned against the pine tree, casually withdrew his gaze, and looked up at the sky. The sky was filled with brilliant stars, the splendid Milky Way, where the cowherd and the weaver girl stared at each other from afar. Grandpa Du's fingers moved slightly, the Buddha beads also moved, and just then, a savory chicken leg was handed over. "Here, eat." While talking, Yang had already taken a big bite from the chicken leg in her hand. Grandpa Du silently recited in his heart, "Meat and wine pass through the intestines, Buddha stays in the heart," then took the chicken leg. "Thank you." "You're welcome, I couldn't finish it by myself anyway," Yang said nonchalantly. The chicken leg was deliciously roasted, crispy on the outside and tender on the inside, with each bite filling his mouth with meat. Grandpa Du hadn't felt this satisfied in a long time. At that moment, he felt that being a common man who drinks and eats meat wasn't too bad after all. After finishing the roasted chicken, Yang sighed, I wonder if my master and mistress are worried. After all, she hadn't returned for the night. They probably aren't, Grandpa Du said. Why? Ni Young turned to look at Grandpa Du. Grandpa Du, twirling the Buddha beads, said, I think, when Mr. Wang asked me to come with you, he already anticipated the ghost hitting the wall. After all, Mr. Wang lived at the foot of the mountain, and he must be very familiar with the conditions in the mountain. He was so worried about Ni Young, probably because he feared that she would be frightened if she encountered the ghost hitting the wall alone. Ni Young stood up and said, That makes sense. I won't talk anymore, I'm going to sleep. Grandpa Du was momentarily taken aback. Where was she going to sleep? Before Grandpa Du could react, Ni Young efficiently climbed up a tree and lay on the trunk, her arms crossed. Good night. However, as she lay down, her hair accidentally caught on a branch. Snap, a calligraphy brush fell by itself. Thousands of black hairs cascaded down instantly, spilling over the tree trunk, and beneath the black hair was a face delicately stunning. Ni Young had no choice but to sit up from the tree trunk, and looking down at Grandpa Du, she extended her hand. Trouble you to pick up the calligraphy brush for me. Grandpa Du bent down to pick up the brush and tossed it up. Ni Young caught the calligraphy brush precisely. Thanks. No trouble, Grandpa Du replied, his facial expression unchanged. Chapter 8:16, The Truth. Ni Young sat steadily on the tree trunk, using a brush to secure her long hair behind her head, revealing a face as clear and refined as a painting. Her long black hair instantly disappeared between her pale fingers, which surprised Mr. Du. A tiny brush, yet so magically effective. A strand of hair mischievously slid from her forehead, and Ni Young casually swept it back and yawned. I'm so sleepy, I'm going to sleep now. Mr. Du, you should sleep early too. As she spoke, Ni Young lay down on the tree trunk. Fortunately, she hadn't worn a cheongsam today, otherwise it would have been really inconvenient. Mr. Du sat under the tree, picking up a few dry branches and placing them on the blazing bonfire, the new wood causing sparks to fly. The two, one above and one below the tree, coexisted in extreme harmony. After a while, Ni Yang's even breathing could be heard from above the tree. Actually, there were still many large wild animals in the mountains at this time, but because of the bonfire burning here, no wild animals dared to approach. Mr. Du lazily leaned against the tree trunk, half squinting his eyes, twirling Buddha beads in his hand. It was unclear whether he was asleep or not. Yet, the bonfire below the tree kept burning until daybreak. Time passed, and in the blink of an eye, it was the next morning. The golden morning sun shone through the gaps in the tree leaves, casting a misty golden light in the forest, giving a lively and vibrant feel. Ni Young slowly opened her eyes, looked at the tender green leaves above her, was momentarily bewildered, then sat up from the tree trunk, stretched her limbs, and loosened her muscles. A bit more awake, Ni Young looked down from the tree. Mr. Du, who had been sleeping under the tree, was nowhere to be seen, and only a few sparks still flickered on the nearby bonfire. Where could he have gone so early in the morning? Eaten by a tiger? Ni Young frowned slightly, and just then, Mr. Du came from not far away with two plump stream fish skewered on a branch he carried. So he wasn't eaten by a tiger after all. Ni Young waved at him. Good morning. Morning. Mr. Du placed the stream fish down and then said, There are two small streams if you turn left not far from here. Do you want to go wash up? Really? Ni Young jumped down from the tree trunk stably and landed firmly. Did you catch this fish? Yes. Mr. Du nodded. I didn't expect you to be able to fish, Ni Young continued. I'll go wash up first. Let's have grilled fish for breakfast. Give me the fish, I'll take them and prepare them. Prepare? Mr. Du asked puzzledly. Isn't it just grilled directly? Ni Young helplessly shook her head. You must be one of those aristocrats who don't concern themselves with worldly matters. No, rather, a wealthy noble, not to know such basic life skills. Mr. Du, just as Mr. Du had said, to the left was a clear stream that was visible to the bottom, lined with a layer of pebbles, reflecting dazzling light under the sun, and some rainbow trout could be seen swimming in the stream. There were some copper coin grass and unidentified wild flowers growing by the stream, creating a beautiful scene that, in later generations, would definitely be a popular spot for photos. The cool water splashed on her face, immediately making her feel much more awake. There was no toothpaste in the wilderness, but fortunately, Yang found a kind of herbal plant substitute, chewed it a few times in her mouth, then rinsed with clean water. After grooming, Yang began to clean the stream fish. When Yang returned with the fish, Mr. Du had rekindled the nearly extinguished bonfire. He sat cross-legged in front of the bonfire, twirling the Buddha beads in his hand as if ready to ascend with the wind at any moment. Yang didn't disturb him, and began to grill the fish in front of the bonfire. The wild stream fish from the mountains were extremely delicious, incomparable to the feed-raised fish from modern days, and soon the air was filled with an irresistible aroma. Mr. Du's eyelids twitched, finally understanding why Ananda, the elder, had never been able to fully renounce worldly attachments. This mortal world was indeed hard to leave behind. Seeing that the grilled fish seemed about done, Yang handed one to Mr. Du. "Try it and see how it tastes." Mr. Du lightly lifted his eyelids, took the grilled fish, and took a bite. The fish was fresh and tender, leaving a lingering taste that was delightful. It was very different from the fishy taste he had anticipated. Very good. Yang also took a bite. Actually, this isn't even the best tasting grilled fish. The mountain lacks seasonings. Authentic grilled fish brushed with sesame oil and chili oil and then topped with spring onion, ginger, and garlic that is truly delicious. Chapter 8:17, The Truth. _2. Talking and talking, Yang's eyes began to light up as if they were filled to the brim with stars. "Do you know a lot about food?" Grandpa Du slightly lifted his eyes, meeting a pair of clear, bottomless eyes, then subtly lowered them again. Yang took another big bite of fish. "It's okay, just a bit pickier than the average person." Grandpa Du nodded. Yang continued, "What about you? I always see you with Buddha beads. Have you seen through the mundane world?" Grandpa Du smiled faintly. "I'm just a common man. Seeing through the mundane world isn't so easy." Yang nodded. "That makes sense. In this vast mundane world, there are wines, meats, and beauties. It's indeed not easy to see through all that." "You seem to understand life quite well," Grandpa Du said in a light tone. Having finished the last bite of the fish, Yang clapped his hands, stood up from the ground, and said, "Let's head back." "Okay," responded Grandpa Du, standing up as well. Yang poured the water from his water bottle over the campfire to extinguish it, and they descended the mountain together. They walked one after the other. Yang led the way, and Grandpa Du followed. As they passed a slippery spot, Yang looked back to remind Grandpa Du, "There's water here, Mr. Du, be careful." Grandpa Du lifted his eyes towards Yang. Somehow, he felt that he was not here to protect Yang. In fact, the one being protected had always been him. Right, how could someone who could slaughter chickens, kill fish, fight, and even dare to swallow a snake gall need anyone else's care? A faint smile unwittingly appeared on Grandpa Du's lips. Soon, they arrived at Old Wang's house. The old couple were leaning against the door, looking out. Seeing Yang and Grandpa Du return, they excitedly greeted them. "Yang, Grandpa Du, you're back. Was everything okay last night?" "All good," Yang replied, grasping Wang Zishi's hand. "Don't worry, mistress." Old Wang looked at Grandpa Du. "It must have been tough for you last night." This was the Grandpa Du who was respected by everyone within 10 miles. To think that he spent a night on the mountain. "It's not worth mentioning," Grandpa Du said slowly. Old Wang continued, "Grandpa Du, you and Yang must not have eaten breakfast yet? There's porridge and 8 treasure congee in the pot. I'll serve you some." "No need," Yang grilled some fish on the mountain, replied Grandpa Du. Hearing that Grandpa Du had already eaten, Old Wang didn't insist further. When they reached the courtyard, Yang put her basket on the ground and said, "Master, mistress, I didn't return all of last night. My folks are surely worried. I'll head back now. Oh, and the medicinal herbs are inside. Okay, take care on your way. Old Wang came over. Okay, nodded Ni Yang, not forgetting to bring along a bunch of wildflowers she had picked on the mountain. As they were kept alongside various medicinal herbs, the wildflowers hadn't withered and were still stunningly vibrant. Before leaving, Ni Yang didn't forget to greet Wang Ziki and Grandpa Du, elder brother, Mr. Du, I'm heading back first. Grandpa Du nodded slightly, be careful on your way. Wang Ziki said, goodbye, junior sister. Ni Yang looked back and waved at them, goodbye. Ni Yang had come by bike, placing all the wildflowers in the front basket, stepped on the petals, and like a freed butterfly, she disappeared down the narrow path ahead. After a while, Grandpa Du and Old Wang said their farewells. Wang Ziki said, Grandpa Du, should I see you off? No need, I can make my way back, Grandpa Du replied, you rarely get a holiday, spend some quality time with your parents. But, Wang Ziki looked a bit worried. It's all right, Grandpa Du gestured with his hand. Wang Ziki continued, then let me walk you to the junction. This time Grandpa Du didn't refuse. The car couldn't reach the foot of the mountain, so Grandpa Du had to walk to the main road. When Wang Ziki returned, Wang Zhosher said, your Grandpa Du truly cares about his subordinates. Wang Ziki nodded in agreement, yes, our Grandpa Du is very kind. Old Wang scoffed lightly, kind, what kind of kindness? If he was really that kind, he wouldn't have waited so long to give Ziki a holiday. Wang Zhosher pulling on Wang Ziki's sleeve, added, don't listen to your dad. By the way, Ziki, has Grandpa Du mentioned a wife? If not, introduce him to your second aunt's cousin. Every elder has the heart of a matchmaker, always the first to think of keeping good prospects within the community. Chapter 8:18, The Truth. _3. Wang Zhosher said without speaking, do you really think things are that wonderful? Do you think Di could take a fancy to Xiangqin? It doesn't cost anything to talk about it, Wang Zhosher said with a smile. Xiangqin isn't ugly, what if Di took a liking to her? Ziki, I think Di is quite affable and has a good temperament. Try and mention it to Xiangqin, will you? Good temperament? Affable? A twitch tugged at the corner of Wang Ziki's mouth. If his mother saw the dark side of Di, she probably wouldn't make such a comment. Seeing that Wang Ziki was silent, Wang Zhosher became unhappy. What's wrong with you, child? Mum is talking to you. Does Di have a wife or not? Xiangqin is your cousin, and yet you're not taking this to heart at all. Only then did Wang Ziki react. Di only has 2 concubines, no official wife. Concubines? Wang Zhosher thought she was hallucinating. How long has it been since liberation, and your Di actually still has 2 concubines? Ziki, are you sure you're not mistaken? Wang Ziki shook his head. Di is not a citizen of China, so the laws of China do not apply to him. Not only does he have 2 concubines, but both of them are strikingly beautiful. Considering Xianqin's circumstances, I don't know if she could even become the 3rd concubine. How could someone with 2 concubines possibly set his eyes on her niece, Xiangqin? So Wang Zhosher didn't entertain any more wild thoughts. Continuing, Wang Zhosher said, forget it, Ziki, let's pretend I never said anything. However, Di seems so refined and cultured, yet he's quite a playboy. It's really surprising that he has 2 concubines. Does he have any children? Wang Ziki continued, Di doesn't have any children at the moment. Having 2 concubines and yet no children. That's really strange. Under normal circumstances, there should be at least dozens of children. Wang Zhosher asked, is there a problem with Di, in that regard? Wang Ziki touched his nose, it probably isn't that. Wang Zhosher narrowed her eyes, I believe it's definitely something wrong with your Di, otherwise, those 2 concubines wouldn't be without children. Unable to continue the conversation, Wang Ziki said, I'm going to help Dad dry the herbal medicine. When Ni Yang got home, she happened to meet Ni Tsuehua and Shengguan Dehui hurrying out. Dad, Mum, where are you going? Ni Young parked her bike on the side. Ni Quihua's eyes lit up and she immediately ran over, grabbing Ni Yang's wrist. Yang, you're back. Where did you go last night? You kept your dad and me up all night. Shangguan Dehui said, if you had come back any later, your mom and I would already be at the police station by now. If it weren't for the rule that one cannot report a disappearance until 24 hours have passed, they would have already called the police. Ni Yang said very apologetically, I'm sorry, Dad, Mom, for making you worry. I went to my master's place, got held up with something, there's no phone service up in the mountains, it won't happen again next time. Shangguan Dehui continued, it's fine as long as you're okay, let's go inside. Ni Yang nodded and followed Shangguan Dehui and Ni Tsuehua inside. Because they didn't want to worry the old couple, Ni Tsuehua and Shangguan Dehui didn't tell grandfather Zheng and grandmother Zheng that Ni Yang had not come home all night, instead telling them that Ni Yang had gone to a classmate's house to play. Little Ni Yun saw Ni Yang returning, and with a swoosh, she jumped out of grandmother Zheng's arms. Sister. Sister's back. Little Yun Yun. Ni Yang picked up little Ni Yun. Chirp chirp, Yang Yang. Duo flew in from the window and landed on Ni Yang's shoulder. Yang Yang? Was that Yang Yang call from Duo just now? Ni Yang looked at Duo with delight. Duo, can you talk now? Duo rubbed its little head against Ni Yang's chin. Yang Yang. So Duo really could talk now. Grandfather Zheng and grandmother Zheng were also very surprised. This little bird is so smart. Ni Tsuhua came over to tease Duo, say it again. Yang Yang. Duo called out with its voice raised again. Ni Tsuhua laughed as well. Then call out Yun Yun. Yang Yang. Indeed, Duo could talk, but it didn't say everything, it only knew Yang Yang. Zheng Xianjing came downstairs and, looking at this joyful family scene, her eyes filled with resentment. This was her home. This was where she had lived since she was a child, so why should these people take it over? Chapter 8:19, The Truth. _4. And that dead bird. It screeches all day long, annoying me to death. Just wait, one day it will turn into a real dead bird. Sister Xianjing, little Ni Yun, who liked Jing Xianjing more, ran over to her with her little short legs. Sister Xianjing, have some candy. This was little Ni Yun's favorite candy. Usually, she wouldn't give it to anyone except Ni Yang. Thank you, Yun Yun. Zheng Xianjing's face was full of smiles as she took the candy. Little Ni Yun reached out her hand to Jing Xianjing. Sister, hug. A hug? If you asked Jing Xianjing who she hated most in this family, little Ni Yun was certainly one of them. Because the Zheng family's old master and old mistress really adored this wretched girl too much. Zheng Lingling had told her that when she was young, the old master wouldn't even glance at her, but now he took little Ni Yun out for a walk every day. His kindly appearance seemed like he had turned into another person. Was this wretched girl doing this on purpose? Did she know that she hated her and that's why she came running over to be hugged? Did she think she was some great treasure? That everyone in the Jing family had to revolve around her? Jing Xianjing suppressed the overwhelming jealousy and picked up little Ni Yun. Yun Yun is so cute. Although she called her cute, her eyes were filled with venom. Little Ni Yun looked at Jing Xianjing, then struggled to get down. Let me down, I want down. Jing Xianjing put down little Ni Yun. Little Ni Yun quickly ran over to Ni Yang. Sister, hug. Ni Yang bent down and picked up little Ni Yun. Little Ni Yun was so scared that she tightly wrapped her arms around Ni Yang's neck, whispering, Sister, I'm scared. Don't be afraid. Ni Yang soothed little Ni Yun gently. Little Ni Yun rested her head on Ni Yang's shoulder and dared not look at Jing Xianjing again. Jing Xianjing narrowed her eyes slightly. She just knew this wretched girl did it on purpose. She did it on purpose, making the old master and old mistress dislike her. Damn wretch. Jing Xianjing clenched her fists. but a smile crept onto her face as she continued, Yang Yang is back. Last night you didn't come home, Auntie and Uncle were so worried. From now on you must let everyone know where you're going, otherwise, the family will be very anxious, won't they? Yang nodded. Yes, you're right, Sister Xianjing. Seeing that the old master and old mistress had no reaction to this conversation, Jing Xianjing became even more furious. If it had been her staying out all night, the old mistress would surely have scolded her. But now that it was Yang, she had no reaction at all, not even pretending to care. That was the difference between a real granddaughter and an outsider. Yang, not bothering with Jing Xianjing, went upstairs with little Yun to see Jing Suyu. She had almost figured out the 13 ghost points, and the next task was to heal Jing Suyu, the only person who knew the truth. Ever since Wu Jinshu rejected Grandma Wu yesterday, she had fallen ill in bed today, huffing with anger. Wu Yenyun came to bring Grandma Wu lunch. Grandma, time to eat. Seeing Wu Yenyun enter, Grandma Wu immediately turned around, her back facing Wu Yenyun. I'm not hungry, take it back. She couldn't face Wu Yenyun right now. Seeing her made her think of that small Western-style house with a courtyard in front. That should be the Wu family's house, but now, others were living there. Grandma Wu felt her heart clenching in pain. Wu Yenyun sighed, you should eat a little, otherwise, your body won't hold up. You go out, Grandma Wu said. Just then, footsteps sounded outside, Mom. Mom. Hearing this voice, Grandma Wu suddenly forgot everything, sat up from the bed, Jean, in here. In here. A neatly dressed middle-aged woman came in from outside. Mom, why are you sleeping in the middle of the day? This woman was Grandma Wu's younger daughter, Wu Jinjin. Wu Jinjin's fate was relatively good. She married a local man from Beijing, and their life was quite decent. Although their life was acceptable, they could only fend for themselves. Wu Jinjin was a filial daughter who often bought delicious foods to visit Grandma Wu. Wu Yenyun immediately politely greeted, hello, Aunt. Wu Jinjin nodded, Yenyun. After speaking, she continued, Yenyun, why don't you go out and play with your brothers? I'll take care of Grandma. All right. Wu Yenyun nodded and walked towards the door. Chapter 820, The Truth. _5. Wu Jinjin closed the door after Yenyun left and immediately took out 2 chicken legs wrapped in oil paper from her bag. Mom, these are the chicken legs I saved especially for you. You should eat them while they're still warm, and make sure none of those kids see them. Having chicken legs, Grandma Wu certainly didn't want to eat them herself. She wanted to save them for Wu Jinshu and her 2 grandsons. Although her son was somewhat disobedient, she was still a mother. How many mothers would hold a grudge against their son? Grandma Wu carefully put away the chicken legs. I just had dinner and can't eat any more right now. I'll save them for later. Wu Jinjin did not know Grandma Wu's cautious thoughts and continued, Mom, what's going on with you? Lying in bed in the middle of the day, are you feeling unwell? Speaking of this, Grandma Wu sighed deeply. It's like this. Grandma Wu recounted the entire story to Wu Jinjin without missing a word. Wu Jinjin, surprised, said, such a great opportunity and my brother disagrees? Wu Lan's family conditions, in high society, might only be considered ordinary, but compared to families like Wu Jinjin's and Wu Jinshu's, they were definitely wealthy. For Yenyun to marry into such a family would be marrying above her status. Grandma Wu said, that stubborn brother of yours, he says he won't sell his daughter. Wu Jinjin grabbed Grandma Wu's hands. Mom, you can't listen to my brother on this. While you're still here, you should be the one calling the shots. Not to mention Yenyun isn't even my brother's biological child. Even if she were, marrying into such a well-off family would be a huge stroke of luck for her. If it were someone else, they might not even be able to marry so high. Grandma Wu sighed, the man is as old as your brother and already has 2 daughters. Your brother probably feels pity for Yenyun marrying into a family and becoming a stepmother. Being a stepmother is not easy these days. Wu Jinjin said, what about being a stepmother? Who you marry is who you marry. Rather than marrying some poor guy, it's better to marry someone with good conditions and later become a wealthy lady. Times have changed. Back in the day, decent families' daughters still became concubines to landowners and rich merchants. There were even old men at 80 marrying 18-year-old girls. At only 35, he's not old at all. In Wu Jinjin's eyes, these weren't problems at all. If she hadn't married, she would have even considered marrying in place of Yen. She was sick of struggling through poverty, which is why she had promptly found a local man from Beijing to marry. Even the poorest local man from Beijing lived better than countryside folks. Grandma Wu holding onto Wu Jinjin's hand, if only your brother could think like you. Wu Jinjin speechlessly said, why care about my brother? Yen Yun is your eldest granddaughter. Even if you make this decision for my brother, he can't do anything to you. After you've raised him through such difficult times, is he going to deny you as his mother? Wu Jinjin was young but full of cunning ideas. Learning that her niece could marry into such a good family, of course, she couldn't miss this opportunity. Jinjin, now you're the only one I can rely on. Tell me, Mom, what should I do? Grandma Wu eagerly held Wu Jinjin's hand. Wu Jinjin smiled. Mom, listen to me, Wu Jinjin whispered a lot into Grandma Wu's ear. After listening, Grandma Wu felt a burden lift from her heart and smiled. The old saying is right, a daughter is a mother's little quilted jacket. Wu Jinjin continued, Mom, since Yen Yun is so beautiful, you should ask for a larger dowry. Grandma Wu said, Lanzi already promised me that once it's settled, he'll give our family that 2-story townhouse with a courtyard, and he'll also sort out our household registration issues, and take care of Dalong and Erlong's schooling. Mom, do you have such low aspirations? Wu Jinjin continued, the reason they're offering such favorable terms is because they really fancy Yen Yun. Our family has only one beautiful girl like Yen Yun. Once this chance is missed, there will be no next shop, so why not ask for more while you can? Besides, our family has raised her for so many years, it's time she gave back. The more Grandma Wu listened, the more she felt Wu Jinjin was making sense. So, Jinjin, what should we ask from them? Grandma Wu asked. Wu Jinjin said, why ask for objects? Objects are trivial. Of course, it's most reliable to ask for money. Their family has money, right? Besides those 3 promises you were given last time, ask for an additional 2,000 yuan. Chapter 821, The Truth. _6. 2,000 yuan. At this time, an ordinary family would need about 10 years to earn 2,000 yuan. Grandma Wu got a fright. Will they give it? Wu Jinjin said, if they don't give it, then don't marry off. Anyway, my brother doesn't even want to marry Yen Yun off yet. Besides, Yen Yun is so beautiful, she might meet someone even better later on. In actuality, Wu Jinjin was well aware that since that household was willing to offer a house to take a bride, it meant they were not lacking those 2,000 yuan. 2,000 yuan was a huge amount for him, but for well-off families, it can be managed. Grandma Wu nodded, thinking Wu Jinjin made a lot of sense. Wu Jinjin continued, Mom, I'm Yanyun's aunt, and I held her when she was little, you see. If this deal goes through, shouldn't you give me some benefit? Grandma Wu then said, isn't your family living quite well? Why care about such a little money? What well? Wu Jinjin said, my mother-in-law is totally unreasonable, plus since I come from another place, she looks down on me. She always gives me these looks. Also, when I got married back then, you asked for an 80 yuan bride price from their family, but didn't prepare even a basic dowry for me. My mother-in-law constantly uses that to mock me, mentioning how much dowry this or that family provided. Dowry items often included a wash basin, a comb, a mirror, and a chamber pot. In an age where flush toilets hadn't yet become common, chamber pots were a daily necessity. For ordinary families, even the poorest would prepare these essential dowry items. Slightly better off ones would even buy chests, nightstands, and dressing tables as dowry. But the Wu family was too poor, and as Wu Jinshu was not well, Grandma Wu, after asking for the hefty bride price of 80 yuan, hadn't prepared any dowry items for Wu Jinjin. Knowing she hadn't handled things properly back then, Grandma Wu sighed and said, Jinjin, you've suffered a lot at the Li family over these years, but I had no choice, you know our situation. Let's not talk about the past. Wu Jinjin said, Mom, this time you have to support me in front of my in-laws. Don't worry, I won't ask for too much. Recalling her daughter's suffering at her in-laws' house over the years, Grandma Wu nodded firmly, okay. Jinjin, how much money do you want? Wu Jinjin said, actually, I don't really want money. I just hope you can buy me a bicycle, and also, I want a sewing machine. At that time, a bicycle alone cost nearly 300 yuan, and a sewing machine would cost even more. Grandma Wu was really reluctant, but thinking of Wu Jinjin's sufferings at her in-laws, she gritted her teeth and agreed. Just a bicycle and a sewing machine? Even if both items together cost 1,000 yuan, she would still have 1,000 left. Besides, they would still get a house and a Beijing household registration, considering that, they weren't losing out. Seeing that Grandma Wu agreed, Wu Jinjin was very happy. Mom, that settles it then, you really mustn't regret this. Don't worry, I won't regret it, said Grandma Wu. That's great. Wu Jinjin said, let's get going. We will visit Wu Lan's place now. Why are we going to Wu Lan's? Asked Grandma Wu. Since the matter is settled, it's time to finalize the wedding date. Wu Lan replied, sooner rather than later. What if someone gets ahead of us? Wu Lan's brother is such a catch, I'm sure many people have their eyes on him. Hearing this, Grandma Wu quickly got out of bed. All right, let's go. Wu Yanyan knew why her grandmother was so angry. She probably resented her for eating too much. With not a lot to go around, one more person eating was just additional burden. Wu Yanyan sat in the courtyard, looking up at the sky, and let out a deep sigh. Just then, she saw Grandma Wu and Wu Jinjin hurrying out. Grandma, Aunt, where are you going? Wu Yanyan immediately stood up. Wu Jinjin looked back impatiently, it's adult business, kids should stay out of it. Wu Yanyan had nothing more to say. She arrived at Wu Lan's house. Wu Lan welcomed Grandma Wu and Wu Jinjin with her usual warmth. Wu Jinjin, who was eloquent, clarified the purpose of their visit in just a few words. On hearing this, Wu Lan said, getting a daughter-in-law for my brother isn't something to be taken lightly, and since you've already given it some thought, let's set a time for the young people to meet. Whether this works out still depends on my brother. Grandma Wu didn't say anything, and Wu Jinjin asked, what about tomorrow, does tomorrow work? Such matters were of course better settled sooner rather than later to avoid unnecessary complications. Wu Lan nodded, fine, let's make it tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, and we'll meet at my place. If my brother takes a liking to Yanyan, our two families can sit down and discuss other issues thoroughly. Although Wu Lan thought Wu Yanyan was very attractive, it all depended on Wu Chang's own wishes. Wu Jinjin hurriedly nodded, yes, that works. After leaving Wu Lan's house, Wu Jinjin felt uneasy. Mom, what if they don't like Yanyan? Didn't you say this deal was certain? Why do we have to meet first? If they didn't approve of Wu Yanyan, wouldn't she lose a bicycle? How could Wu Jinjin not worry? She dreamt of owning a bicycle and a sewing machine. With those two possessions, would her cruel mother-in-law dare to look down on her? Grandma Wu said, don't worry about that. With Yanyan's looks, you won't find another like her in 10 villages. Wu Yanyan's beauty was undeniable as she was not from the Wu family. Wu Jinjin said, hopefully. We'll meet at 10 tomorrow morning. I'll come over at 8:30. By then, will my brother and sister-in-law have gone to work? This matter could not yet be disclosed to Wu Jinshu and Yan Erju. Grandma Wu replied, they've gone to work. They leave for work every day at 7 in the morning. Wu Jinjin nodded, that's good. Upon returning home, Wu Yanyan was not there. Wu Dalong and Wu Erlong were taking care of their younger brother. Grandma Wu asked, why are you two looking after Xiaolong? Where's your older sister? She had something to attend to, Wu Erlong replied. She has nothing to attend to. I bet she's just slacking off. Alright, go play, I'll watch Xiaolong, Grandma Wu said. Hearing they were relieved of the duty, Wu Daolong and Wu Erlong ran off faster than rabbits. Wu Yanyan trudged down the street with heavy steps. She hadn't had enough to eat in the evening or at noon, and now she hardly had any energy. Walking down the streets of Beijing, she went from shop to shop asking if they needed part-time workers. She wanted to find a job. A job that could help reduce the burden on her family. Excuse me, are you looking for part-time workers? I'm hardworking and can do any sort of job. No, we're not hiring. Get out of here. These were the kinds of rejections Wu Yanyan faced. But Wu Yanyan didn't lose heart. She continued asking from one place to the next, desperately hoping to find some part-time work. Chapter 8:22. Transfer. There were many shops on the street, but few needed part-time workers. After all, the economy at this time wasn't as developed as in later times, and the businesses weren't booming. Many shops could barely make ends meet, so how could they afford to hire people? Moreover, Wu Yanyan was still underage, so even the shops that needed part-time workers wouldn't dare to hire her. As she walked, Wu Yanyan came across a noodle restaurant with a long queue at the entrance, and next to it was a milk tea shop, both swarming with people. Business was booming. The milk tea shop was called New York Milk Tea, and the noodle restaurant was called Sour Fish Noodle Restaurant. Both establishments had become popular in Beijing over a year ago and had spawned many imitators in Beijing streets, yet the originals had never been surpassed. New York Milk Tea and Sour Fish Noodle Restaurant had significantly influenced the dining scene. Wu Yanyan entered the restaurant where two aunties were efficiently cleaning the tables. Auntie, do you hire part-time workers? The aroma inside the restaurant was so tantalizing that Wu Yanyan couldn't help but swallow saliva. Your business is thriving for a reason. Coincidentally, the store Wu Yanyan visited was managed by Zhou Qingshang. Zhou Qingshang had a daughter about Wu Yanyan's age. Girl, would you like to come work here? Yes, Wu Yanyan nodded in a hurry. Auntie, don't worry, I can do anything. You can pay me whatever you think is appropriate. I really need this job. Zhou Qingshang then asked, how old are you this year, young lady? 17, Wu Yanyan replied. Zhou Qingshang's daughter, Wang Xiaoya, was 16 and in her final year of junior high school. Young lady, aren't you going to school? Wu Yanyan shook her head. Zhou Qingshang had also faced tough times in the past. If it weren't for Ni Yang and her daughter coming to Jinghua village, Wang Xiaoya probably would have dropped out of school by now. Seeing Wu Yanyan, she felt sympathy. Just wait a moment for me, young lady. Zhou Qingshang quickly cleaned up the table and headed towards the kitchen. Wu Yanyan stood there waiting for Zhou Qingshang with a nervous heart. Zhou Qingshang soon came back with a bag in her hand. Young lady, this is some leftover buns and noodles from our lunch. If you don't mind, you can take them home and eat, otherwise, it would just be a waste if we throw them away. Thank you, auntie. Wu Yanyan took the bag with both hands. Wu Yanyan continued, young lady, we have never hired part-timers before, and I'm not sure if the boss will hire you. Come back tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock, and the boss will be here. Although Zhou Qingshang was now the store manager, hiring part-time workers wasn't something she could decide. Even more so since Wu Yanyan wasn't of age yet. She was afraid of causing trouble for Ni Yang. Auntie, thank you. Thank you. Wu Yanyan held the bag and kept bowing to Zhou Qingshang. You're welcome, Zhou Qingshang replied. You should head back now, and come again tomorrow. Wu Yanyan left with the food in hand. Zhou Qingshang had given a lot. There were 10 meat buns and a large bag of soup noodles. Actually, these foods were not leftovers from lunch but were bought by Zhou Qingshang herself. Looking at Wu Yanyan's condition, she knew she hadn't eaten enough. Zhou Qingshang had also experienced being hungry before and knew how painful that could be. Wu Yanyan was very hungry and couldn't resist eating a meat bun as she walked. The meat bun was truly delicious, bursting with juice at each bite. The flavor of the meat bun lingered in her mouth. Wu Yanyan ate 3 buns in a row before gradually regaining her strength. Just then, a car suddenly rushed around the corner, screech. The sharp sound of an emergency brake echoed, and Wu Yanyan's face instantly turned pale, frightened and collapsing to the ground, the noodles scattering everywhere. Fortunately, the car stopped just 0.1 millimeters away from her. Wu Yanyan swallowed nervously, thinking she was about to be hit a moment ago. Go and check. The man in the back seat, holding Buddha beads, spoke faintly. The sunlight shone through the car window and cast a faint glow on him, making the already ethereal and elegant man seem even more unreal. All right. The driver nodded, opened the car door, and stepped out. Are you all right, young lady? The driver walked over. Wu Yanyan couldn't care less about herself, crying out in distress, my noodles, my noodles. Those noodles were enough for a meal for her family, but now, they were all spilled. Chapter 823, Transfer_2. Bright sunlight cast her profile in a pale and delicate light. The man inside the car glanced back and just happened to catch this scene. He raised an eyebrow slightly, lowered the car window, and called out, Xiaoqing. Upon hearing this, the driver immediately ran over. Boss Du twirled Buddha beads in one hand and took out a banknote from his wallet with the other. Give this to her. All right. Xiaoqing took the banknote and walked over to Wu Yanyan. Young lady, stop crying and get up. This is from our boss Du, take it and go buy yourself a new bowl of noodles and buns. Before her eyes was a blue 100 yuan bill. The most common bills people saw at that time were the 10 yuan ones, also known as Big Unity. Ordinary families almost never saw a 100 yuan bill. The fact that this man gave out 100 yuan so freely suggested he was no ordinary person. Seeing that Wu Yanyan had no reaction, Xiaoqing stuffed the money into Wu Yanyan's hands and got back into the car. Wu Yanyan hurriedly lifted her head and saw a gentle and elegant profile through the fleeting car window. He was dressed in old-style traditional clothes, looking straight ahead, his handsome features set against a cool, snowy aura. Such people, who appear so cultivated, are actually the hardest to deal with. Wu Yanyan clutched the banknote tightly in her hand. Their family was indeed short on money at the moment. With this large sum of 100 yuan, they could do a lot. The streets bustled with people. After the black car disappeared, only Wu Yanyan remained sitting on the ground. A few stray dogs and cats ran over from not far away, quickly clearing the food remnants on the ground. Everything returned to normal as if nothing had happened. Wu Yanyan stood up from the ground and limped towards the grain and oil shop. She bought 100 pounds of rice in one go, along with 10 pounds of sesame oil, 50 pounds of flour, spending a total of 30 yuan. The shopkeeper even personally delivered these items to the Wu family. It may seem like a lot of goods, but with so many people in the Wu family, and their appetites larger at that time, these items wouldn't last very long, at most, half a month. When Wu Yanyan returned, Wu Jinshu and Yan Erju had already come back. Seeing the shopkeeper carrying bags of rice and oil into their house, Yan Erju pulled Wu Yanyan aside with a puzzled look. Xiaoyun, what's going on? Mom, this is for you. Wu Yanyan handed the remaining 70 yuan to Yan Erju and briefly explained the afternoon's incident. Yan Erju and Wu Jinshu paled when they heard that Wu Yanyan had almost been in a car accident. Xiaoyun, are you all right? Wu Yanyan shook her head. Mom and Dad, don't worry, I'm fine. That's good, Yan Erju continued. But you need to be more careful in the future, especially when crossing the street. You can't be this lucky every time. Wu Jinshu said, your mother's right. You can't be this lucky every time. What if the car had hit you badly? How would our family cope? We can earn money back, but you have to understand that no amount of money can buy back a life. What's priceless in this world? Life is priceless. Wu Yanyan nodded. Mom and Dad, I understand. Wu Erlong added from the side, Mom and Dad, with this money, can sister go to school now? Yan Erju gave a bitter smile. How could this money be enough? Just the tuition for one semester was 98 yuan, plus miscellaneous fees and food, it all added up to 138 yuan. That was why in the 1980s, so many dropped out after middle school. Wages were low. To send one child to school could deplete a family's entire savings. Not like later generations, where 9 years of compulsory education was fully implemented. Not only was school free, there were scholarships and subsidies for students in need. Thus, those who lived through this era were very frugal in later times. Wu Dalong continued, is it enough for Erlong and me to go to school? Not enough, Yan Erja shook her head, then said, but don't worry, Dalong, Xiaolong. Mom and Dad will work hard and provide for your schooling. It's just a matter of time before they could save enough for tuition. Just then, Granny Wu happened to overhear Yan Erja's statement, retorted, with what you and Jin Shu earn, it wouldn't be enough even if you saved for 10 more years. Yan Erju and Wu Jinshu together earned less than 20 yuan a month. The rent was 10 yuan a month, their meager income barely covered the family's expenses, and they still dreamed of affording their children's education. Chapter 824, Transfer_3. Dream on. The family was already living like this, yet Wu Jinshu stubbornly refused to marry off his daughter. He didn't even consider his own abilities. Fortunately, she was still clear-headed and able to make decisions for the household, otherwise, Wu Jinshu and Yan Erju would have dragged the whole family down. Upon hearing this, Yan Erju's expression darkened. Then she said, Mom, are you hungry? I'll go cook some dinner. Tonight we'll have aromatic white rice. In later generations, rice was a common food, but in this era, struggling families could hardly afford a meal of white rice. Yan Erja's family normally only ate coarse rice. Coarse rice, meant for feeding chickens and ducks, was hard and astringent, choking the throat and causing pain. And even this coarse rice wasn't enough to go around. Grandmother Wu glanced at Yan Erju. Where did the money come from to buy white rice? Yan Erju explained the situation to Grandmother Wu. Grandmother Wu said, just 100 yuan makes you this happy? Wu Yenyun could exchange for a small Western-style house plus 2,000 yuan. How happy would Yan Erju be then? After Grandmother Wu left, Yan Erju tugged at Wu Jinshu's sleeve. Why do I feel like Mom was a bit strange today? She didn't even care about 100 yuan. If others heard, they might think our family is rich. Wu Jinshu wasn't concerned. That's just how my mom is, probably just in a bad mood today. Yan Erju didn't dwell on it and turned to Wu Yenyun, Xiaoyun, go rest for a bit. I'll make dinner today. Wu Yenyun rolled up his sleeves. Mom, you've been tired all day. Let me do it. Yan Erju smiled and said, Mom's not tired. You, on the other hand, must have been really scared by that car just now. Go rest, you've been working hard these days too. Unable to argue with Yan Erju, Wu Yenyun reluctantly went to his room to rest. That evening, Yan Erju steamed a large pot of rice, and also fried a plate of sesame oil vegetables and cooked a big bowl of sesame oil egg soup. The children ate very happily. Wu Yenyun also unusually had a full meal that shocked him, especially since Grandmother Wu didn't give him any looks during the meal. He felt surprised and somewhat pleased. After all, he was still a teenager. He wanted to eat his fill too. Who would want to experience the pangs of hunger? The next morning, Wu Jinshu and Yan Erju went to work together. Grandmother Wu approached Wu Yenyun, Yenyun, let Dalong and Erlong keep an eye on Xiaolong. You come with me. Wu Yenyun nodded, Grandma, where are we going? You don't need to worry about that, Grandmother Wu continued, we'll leave when your aunt comes. Oh. Wu Yenyun didn't ask further. Soon, Wu Jinjin arrived. Wu Jinjin was always neatly dressed, regardless of the occasion. Especially today, She had even brought out clothes preserved for special occasions and wore a pair of silver earrings she donned only during the new year. Yan, I brought a dress for you. Try it quickly to see if it fits. If it does, put it on and well go. Wu Jinjin handed a water-red dress to Wu Yanyan. Wu Yanyan was stunned. Aunt, is this for me? Wu Jinjin was a very dutiful and filial daughter, but not a good aunt. She didn't like Wu Jinshu's children at all, whether it was Wu Dalong, Wu Xiaolong, or Wu Yanyan. She never cared for any of them. From their childhood, she never once bought them candy. Whenever she brought something over, it was always secretly given to grandmother Wu. Wu Yanyan was surprised when Wu Jinjin suddenly offered her a dress. Wu Jinjin smiled and said, "Look at you asking such questions. If it's not for you, who else could it be for? Go change quickly, we have to go out soon." Convinced that the dress was for her, Wu Yanyan went back inside the house to change. After Wu Yanyan left, grandmother Wu expressed her dissatisfaction. "You work hard for your money, why waste it buying clothes for her? It's not bought, this dress belonged to Jianli when she was younger," Wu Jinjin replied. Jianli was Wu Jinjin's sister-in-law. Upon hearing the dress was an old one that didn't cost money, grandmother Wu finally relaxed. After a moment, Wu Yanyan came out dressed. Wu Yanyan was unlike the rest of the Wu family. She was tall and, even though she was only 17, she had already reached a height of 165 centimeters, surpassing Wu Jinjin by more than a head. Chapter 825, Transfer_4. Although the water-red color had faded to nearly white, it surprisingly looked good on Yanyan. Jinjin said, "It really is true, clothes make the man and saddles make the horse. Our Yanyan is a grown lady now." Such a beautiful maiden, Wu Lan had no reason to look down on her. It looked like her bicycle and sewing machine might just be within reach after all, Jinjin thought, her smile growing brighter. Yanyan tugged at her skirt uneasily. "Auntie, perhaps I should change out of this. It's not convenient for working." "There's no need, just wear that." Jinjin grabbed Yanyan's wrist. "Today, you don't have to do any chores." "Let's go then, it's almost time," Grandma added. "Dalong, Erlong, take good care of your brother at home. We'll be back soon." "Grandma, I want to go too." Dalong followed Grandma's steps. Grandma said kindly, "Dalong, stay home. Grandma will bring back some sweets for you." Hearing there would be sweets, Dalong was overjoyed. All right, then you should hurry, Grandma." Walking along the road, Yanyan felt something odd and asked, "Grandma, Auntie, where are we going?" Jinjin, smiling, linked arms with Yanyan. "Just out for some fun, you'll see soon enough." Soon, they reached Wu Lan's house. Yanyan asked, "Isn't this Auntie Wu Lan's place?" "Grandma, what are we doing here?" Grandma replied sternly, "Children should not ask too many questions. Just sit quietly and listen when we talk later." Grandma wouldn't reveal the truth to Yanyan until everything was settled. This girl was clever, what if she disagreed? As they entered the yard, Wu Lan came out from the house warmly. "Auntie, come in, please sit." There were quite a few people in the living room. Among them were Wu Lan's husband and her brother, Wu Chang, remembering Wu Lan's mother. Wu Lan introduced, "Mom, Changzi, this is Yanyan's grandma, this is Yanyan's auntie, and this here is Yanyan." Jinjin was especially good at handling situations, and she immediately started greeting everyone. Feeling several pairs of eyes scrutinizing her intensively, Yanyan became noticeably nervous, her hands tightly wrung together. Actually, Wu Chang had been rather reluctant to come today. Because Wu Lan had said the girl was just a countryside lass, he thought, how pretty can a village girl be? But he hadn't expected Yanyan to be so attractive. Wu Chang immediately stood up. "So this is Yanyan. You must be tired from the long walk, please have a seat." Wu Chang, at 35, didn't need to work because his family owned over 30 properties. His days were spent playing card games and collecting rent, living a practically idyllic life. This led to a drastic alteration in his appearance. He had a beer belly, a bald head, and a greasy face, looking much older than his actual age. Wu Lan and their mother felt reassured seeing Wu Chang act like this. He must be interested. Otherwise, why would Wu Chang be so enthusiastic? Though Wu Chang wasn't much to look at, his financial situation was solid. Despite having met numerous girls, none had interested him. Finally finding one that satisfied him, their mother heaved a great sigh of relief. And not only was the girl pleasing to Wu Chang, but she also greatly satisfied the mother-in-law. She was beautiful and seemed easy to handle. As a mother-in-law, she didn't want a strong-willed daughter-in-law. If she ended up with such a daughter-in-law, instead of being taken care of, she would be the one catering to the daughter-in-law. Jin and Grandma, sensing the situation, urged Yenyun to sit down. Xiaowu says sit down, so quickly take a seat. Yenyun had never experienced anything like this, but she vaguely understood that today's visit was far from a simple courtesy call. There was definitely something else going on. Yenyun felt uneasy, especially unable to endure Wu Chang's blatant stares. She had barely touched the sofa when she quickly stood up. Grandma, Auntie, I have something to do, I need to go back. After saying that, she left the place as if escaping. Although Wu Lan's house was as splendid as a palace, it made her feel suffocated. It was only after running outside that Yenyun could finally breathe more easily. Grandma was livid. Chapter 826, Transfer_5. This wretch. How she embarrasses her. Does she think she's such a hot commodity that no one else will do but her? Wu Chang looked at Wu Yanyun's retreating figure. Why did she leave? With his conditions, how could Wu Yanyun not be impressed? Wu Jinjin said with a smile, trying to smooth things over. Our Yenyun has never been in a match before, it's her first time riding the wedding sedan. She's just shy. Xiaowu, please don't take it to heart. She's quite satisfied with you. Hearing this, Wu Chang breathed a sigh of relief. Well, that's good. Wu's mother glanced at Wu Jinjin and said indifferently, can you speak for your niece? When Wu's mother was not retired, she was the head of the local district. She was always serious and had a thorough way of addressing issues. This matter isn't so simple. Wu Jinjin smiled and said, Auntie, I can't decide on this matter, but my mom can. Yenyun is my mom's granddaughter. Upon hearing this, Wu's grandmother immediately agreed, yes, I can decide on this. Wu's mother continued, our Wu family has always been clean and keen, we never do things that trouble others. It's either a yes or a no, forced melons are never sweet. Our family has money, what kind of daughter-in-law can't we find? Wu's mother is a respectable person, she definitely doesn't like doing things that can't be put on the table. Wu's grandmother agreed, yes, you are right, rest assured, even though I am old, I can still handle this. Wu's mother continued, although you are the girl's grandmother, this matter still needs to be approved by your son and daughter-in-law, right? Wu's grandmother couldn't respond to this. Because Wu Jinshu and Yan Erju didn't know anything about this matter. Wu Jinjin hurriedly chimed in with a smile, Auntie, I'll just tell you the truth, the situation in our family is rather complicated. Yenyun isn't my brother and sister-in-law's biological daughter. Yenyun was picked up by my mom from the mountains, and it was my mom who raised her from infancy. She has no connection with my brother and sister-in-law, so as long as my mom agrees, it's settled. Wu's grandmother was startled. In her heart, she silently gave Wu Jinjin a thumbs up, truly her own clever daughter, quick to react, lying without a draft. Hearing this, Wu's mother nodded, I see. Since she isn't her own and was raised solely by the elderly lady, then this matter should be easier to handle. Wu Chang nudged Wu's mother. Wu's mother knew what her son meant and continued, you all know the situation of our family. Xiangzi now has 2 daughters. The young lady, if married into our family, doesn't need to do any work. She just needs to take care of me and the 2 children, and of course, cook and do Qiang's laundry. Wu Jinjin laughed and said, these are all small matters. What household's new bride doesn't do these? Moreover, Xiangzi currently only has 2 daughters, it certainly won't work for them not to have a son. After all, we Wu family are not short of money. I mean, no matter how many children, we must have a boy to carry on the Wu family line. Whenever, wherever, there are always those who value sons over daughters. Daughters take their husband's name when they marry, sons bring in wives who take their name, continuing the lineage. Exactly, exactly, Wu Jinjin laughed. Aren't we women born to bear sons and raise children for our husband's family? What's wrong with having a few more children? Wu's mother nodded and continued, moreover, Qiang's age is also a factor here. The sooner it's done, the better, as long as the two young people are willing. The longer the delay, the more dreams in the night. It's not easy to find the right person. Wu Jinjin said, Auntie, fundamentally there are no problems with what you've said. However, since you've spoken to this point, let's be frank. I'll also speak on behalf of my mom and state our family's conditions. Go ahead. Wu's mother took a sip of tea. Wu's grandmother watched Wu Jinjin, who was articulate and clever, feeling a deep sense of pride. Luckily she had such an excellent daughter to stand up for her. Wu Jinjin continued, aside from the household registration and small Western-style house your family agreed to up front, our family also wants a dowry of 3,000 yuan. 3,000 yuan? Wu's grandmother looked at Wu Jinjin, surprised. Wasn't it agreed it would only be 2,000 yuan? How did it suddenly become 3,000? Wu Jinjin gently patted Wu's grandmother's hand, signaling her not to be surprised. Chapter 827, Transfer_6. She had figured it out, the Wu family was not short of money at all. Since they weren't hard up, of course, she had to ask for more. Such lavish wealth only came once in a lifetime. Hearing this, Wu's mother placed her teacup on the table and gently tapped it. Are you selling your daughter or marrying her off? Country folks are country folks indeed. When it comes to marrying off a daughter, they don't beat around the bush. Even if she wasn't their own flesh and blood, did it have to be this ruthless? At this time, in Beijing, when an ordinary family took a bride, the most they'd offer was 500 yuan as a dowry. But their demands were different, wanting both a house and money. As soon as they opened their mouths, it was 3,000. Wu Jinjin said with a smile, Auntie, what you said is a bit harsh. As the saying goes, a match made in heaven is tied with a thread. If our Yenyun and Xiaowu truly have no fate, then there is nothing we can do as family members. She meant they were ready to call the whole thing off. Wu Chang panicked as soon as he heard this. We are fated. Yenyun and I are very much fated. I agree to the 3,000, none of the conditions you proposed are a problem. Wu Yenyun was so beautiful and still an untouched young lady. It wouldn't matter if it were 3,000 or even 30,000, Wu Chang would find a way to gather it. Wu's mother inwardly rolled her eyes at Wu Chang, frustrated with his lack of resolve. She had planned to bargain down the price, yet her son was so weak-willed in front of a beautiful girl that he couldn't even move his feet. Now that everything was out in the open, Wu's mother didn't beat around the bush either and continued, to show the Wu family sincerity, let's draw up an agreement, pay the dowry now, then choose a day for both families to sit down for a meal together, and settle on a wedding date. As for the house, your family can only move in after the young couple is married. Agreed, Wu Jinjin nodded. Wu's mother turned her head to look at Grandma Wu. What about you? Do you see any issues? Yenyun had been raised by her hands after all, and Wu's mother felt it necessary to ask for Grandma Wu's opinion. Grandma Wu said, I have no objections. They were willing to pay so much, offer a house, and move the household registration. What could she possibly object to? Wu's mother had come prepared today. She took out 3 stacks of RMB from her bag. Here is 3,000 yuan. Let's write up an agreement, and consider this matter settled. Good, good, Grandma Wu nodded. Both Grandma Wu and Wu Jinjin were illiterate, so how the agreement was drawn up was entirely up to Wu's mother and Wu Lan. They only had to press their fingerprints as confirmation. It wasn't until they left Wu Lan's house that Grandma Wu still felt somewhat surreal. Jinjin, does our family really own a 2-story Western-style house with a yard now? Of course, it's real. Wu Jinjin nodded. Not only that, you now have 3,000 yuan in your pocket too. Grandma Wu felt her pocket. Sure enough, those thick stacks of banknotes were still there. Wu Jinjin continued, how about it? I have got skills, don't I? The dowry was 2,000 yuan, and I managed to get it up to 3,000. According to your thinking, we would have just taken one house and nothing else. Wouldn't we have lost out big time? A full 3,000 yuan. What ordinary family could have so much money? Wealthy people really are different. Grandma Wu said with a smile, yes, you are capable. No wonder they say a daughter is a mother's little padded jacket. Wu Jinjin went on, Mom, now that we also have money, let's go buy a bicycle and a sewing machine, shall we? Sure. Let's go now. A bicycle and a Singer sewing machine together cost over 1,100 yuan, but Grandma Wu wasn't hesitant to pay. After Wu Yanyan got home, she changed out of her long dress and into her usual clothes with patches. It wasn't until the afternoon that Grandma Wu returned with a smiling face, holding 2 roast chickens in her hands. Dalong, Erlong, come and have some roast chicken. Grandma Wu called Wu Dalong and Wu Erlong over to eat the roast chicken. As soon as they heard there was roast chicken, the 2 little ones were over the moon and immediately ran over like crazy. Wu Erlong tore off a chicken leg. They'll bring this chicken leg to big sister to eat. Wu Grandma's face darkened. You are not to give it to her. Just now, Wu Yanyan had made the Wu family lose face, and Grandma Wu hadn't calmed down yet. At that moment, Wu Yanyan came over holding a dress. Grandma Wu quickly hid the roast chicken. What are you doing here? Wu Yanyan placed the dress aside. Grandma, I can't accept this dress, please return it to Auntie. Wearing that dress never sat right with her. You were given it, you wear it, Granny Wu said. No need, just return it to Auntie. After saying that, Wu Yanyan turned and walked away. Granny Wu herself had a strong opinion of Wu Yanyan and now felt even more that Wu Yanyan was not presentable. All this fuss over a dress? In the afternoon, Wu Yanyan arrived at the noodle restaurant as agreed. 2 o'clock was precisely the restaurant's resting time. Seeing Wu Yanyan, Zhou Qingshan greeted her warmly, Young lady, you've arrived. Auntie. Zhou Qingshan continued, come in quick, our boss is inside. Wu Yanyan followed Zhou Qingshan inside. Just as she walked in, Wu Yanyan saw a familiar figure, Yang Yang. Yang was also a bit surprised and said with a smile, Aunt Zhou, is this young lady the one you mentioned was coming to apply for a job? Zhou Qingshan was also taken aback, nodded, and said, yes, that's her. Yang, you two know each other? Yang pulled up a chair for Wu Yanyan to sit down. More than just acquaintances, we're good friends too. Yang had a good impression of Wu Yanyan. This young girl always gave her an unexplainable sense of affinity. Wu Yanyan looked at Yang with undisguised surprise in her eyes. Yang, you're the boss of this place. Yang nodded, yeah. Yang, you're incredible. Someone like Yang would surely come from a good background, not like her who had nothing, coming from a poor background, and couldn't even keep her stomach full. To say she wasn't envious would be a lie. Every girl dreams of being a princess. Wu Yanyan was no exception. Yang then said, Yanyan, are you looking for work? Yes, Wu Yanyan nodded. Yang, can you give me a job? Yang hesitated for a moment. Yanyan, you're only 17 this year, and according to the rules, our shop can't hire minors. But, my other shop is short of long-term staff. The monthly salary is 40 yuan. Would your parents be willing to come? After all, Yang was in business, and her competitors were watching her like a hawk. If she really hired a child laborer, it would be just asking for trouble. As the saying goes, the bigger the tree, the harder it is to stay out of the wind. Currently, she couldn't take such risks. However, she really wanted to give Wu Yanyan a hand, so she suggested hiring Wu Yanyan's parents. A monthly salary of 40 yuan? These words made Wu Yanyan's eyes light up. Wu Jinshu and Yan Erju's combined monthly salary was barely 20 yuan. If they worked for Ni Yang, they could make 80 yuan a month. With those 80 yuan, she wouldn't have to worry about her two brothers' schooling and food and clothing problems anymore. Wu Yanyan said excitedly, "My parents can really come to work." Ni Yang nodded, "Yeah." Wu Yanyan said with some concern, "But my parents are illiterate, and my dad has a disability. His right hand is missing the little finger. Can they really come to work?" It was precisely because Yan Erju was illiterate and Wu Jinshu had health issues that they never found a good job. Otherwise, their family wouldn't be struggling to get by. "It's okay," Ni Yang continued, "as long as uncle and auntie don't mind. Doing cleaning work doesn't require literacy, and it's relatively light and doesn't require much strength." Chapter 828, Domineering. The noodle restaurant's cleaning job mainly involves tidying up tables and sweeping floors, which isn't considered heavy labor for someone used to hard work. "Yang, are you serious?" Wu Yanyan asked with a hint of disbelief. Ni Yang nodded. "Of course I'm serious. Do you think I would joke about something like this? By the way, are your parents home? If they are, have them come over for a trial. If they think it's good, they can start working tomorrow morning." Wu Yanyan excitedly said, "They're at home, at home. I'll go and call them over right now." Wu Jinshu and Yan Erju were actually not at home, but Wu Yanyan didn't want them to miss such a good job opportunity. "All right, Yanyan, don't rush. I'll be in the shop all day today." Hearing this, Zhou Qingshan looked at Ni Yang in surprise. Since there were several stores, Ni Yang usually spent no more than 2 hours in each shop. Today, to help Wu Yanyan, she said she would stay in the shop the entire day. "Then, Yang, I'll be right back." Wu Yanyan ran towards the door. Fortunately, the place where Wu Yanyan worked wasn't far from here. She first went to the rice shop where Yan Erju worked. In the mild May weather, Yan Erju was nevertheless sweating profusely as she carried a 160-pound bag of rice up to the second floor of the rice shop. There were many workers in the rice shop who carried rice bags, but they were all strong men. It was quite rare to see a woman like Yan Erju doing such work. Therefore, everyone admired Yan Erju greatly. "Erju, your daughter's here," a co-worker told Yan Erju. Although Wu Yanyan seldom came to the rice shop, she was very beautiful, so everyone remembered her. "My elder daughter is here?" Yan Erju dropped the bag of rice and casually wiped her forehead with her sleeve. "Yes, she's waiting for you outside right now." "Oh, then I'll go right away." Yan Erju put her sleeve down. Normally, Wu Yanyan wouldn't come to the rice shop to find her unless something happened at home. With this thought, Yan Erju felt a sudden rush of anxiety and hurried towards the door. "Xiaoyun, why did you come? Is something wrong at home?" "No," Wu Yanyan shook her head. "Mom, I found a better job for you and Dad. Please take a leave and then come for an interview with me." Relieved that nothing was wrong at home, Yan Erju asked, "What kind of good job?" Wu Yanyan explained the situation. Upon hearing this, Yan Erju said in surprise, "Really, 40 yuan a month?" Working in the rice shop, struggling day in and day out, she barely earned a bit more than 10 yuan a month. And now, simply cleaning could earn her 40 yuan a month? At that time, even educated people working in factories were only earning 30 yuan a month. Could she, who couldn't recognize a single written character, really earn a monthly salary of 40 yuan? Really? Wu Yanyan nodded confidently. "Mom, let's hurry and go find Dad." Yan Erju hesitated, still somewhat incredulous. "Xiaoyun, you're not being fooled by someone, are you?" Wu Yanyan smiled and said, "Yang isn't a cheat. She's the one who invited us to eat dumpling soup last time and gave me 13 yuan. Upon hearing this, Yan Erju believed her by 70 to 80%, and took off her work apron. "Then I'll ask our boss for leave right now." Yan Erju successfully took her leave. "Let's go quickly." Mother and daughter arrived at the construction site where Wu Jinshu worked. Wu Jinshu, upon hearing about the job, was also somewhat incredulous. He only earned a few cents for a whole day's work at the construction site. A monthly salary of 40 yuan was undoubtedly great news. The three of them hurried to Ni Yang's noodle restaurant, all in less than an hour. Yan, here you are. These must be your uncle and aunt? Ni Yang stood up politely. Wu Yanyan nodded. Yang, this is my dad, and this is my mom. Mom and dad, this is Yang, and she owns this noodle restaurant. Hello, young comrade, I am Xiaoyan's mother. I am Yanyan's father. Although Ni Yang was young, she was beautiful, well-dressed, and exuded an air of elegance, not seeming like an average person. Standing in front of such a distinguished person, Wu Jinshu and his wife felt quite awkward, unsure of where to put their hands. This couple looked very simple and honest. Ni Yang smiled and said, "Uncle and Auntie, please sit down. Don't be nervous." As she spoke, Ni Yang poured a cup of tea for the couple. "Uncle, Auntie, please have some tea." Chapter 829, Domineering. _2. Thank you, we're not thirsty, Yan Erju said nervously as she slightly bowed. Ni Yang continued, "How old are you two this year, uncle and auntie?" Wu Jinshu was so nervous he wasn't sure what to say, but Yan Erju was more composed. "I am 34 this year, and Xiaoyan's dad is 35. Ni Yang smiled and said, "Then uncle and auntie are about the same age as my mom. She is 38 this year, and my dad is a bit older than you all." Yan Erju said, "We are just poor folks, how could we compare with you? We all come from a farming background, having walked through hard times. There are no levels among us. When my mom and I first came to Beijing 2 years ago, we almost didn't have a place to stay. Luckily, we met a kind soul on the train who provided us a foothold," Ni Yang said. Hearing Ni Yang say this, the nervousness in Yan Erju's heart lessened considerably, and she was also somewhat surprised. She had not expected that Ni Yang was also a farmer's daughter. Yan Erju wasn't the only surprised one, Wu Yanyan was as well. Especially Wu Yanyan, who had always assumed that Ni Yang came from a wealthy background. She had not expected that Ni Yang's past was just like hers. In just 2 years, Ni Yang had achieved so much, she was truly impressive. "Where are you originally from?" Yan Erju asked. Ni Yang smiled slightly, "We're from Dam Village." Dam Village? A delighted expression appeared in Yan Erju's eyes. "You're from Dam Village? We're from Haicheng too, and we live in the village right next to yours." In the vast sea of people in Beijing, it's not easy to come across someone from the same hometown. Ni Yang was a bit surprised as she said, "Really?" Seeing that Yan Erju and the others were getting more relaxed, Ni Yang continued, "Uncle and auntie, Yan Yun has already talked to you about the salary, right? 40 yuan a month, work 6 days and rest 1, so you have 4 rest days each month. You'll also receive benefits during the Dragon Boat Festival, Mid-Autumn Festival, and Spring Festival. There are rest days and benefits too. This treatment is really too good." Yan Erju was a bit amazed. She hadn't expected the salary to be so high and to still include rest days. Ni Yang nodded, "Uncle and auntie, if you agree, come along with me now to see the work environment." "We agree. Of course, we agree." Yan Erju nodded eagerly. With such a great job opportunity, it would be foolish not to agree. "Then uncle and auntie, please come with me. The other noodle restaurant was a bit far from here." Ni Yang took the 3 of them there by taxi. The taxi had exactly 5 seats. This other branch of the noodle restaurant was considerably larger than the previous one, with 2 stories, both upstairs and downstairs. Although the storefront was large, it was still overwhelmed with diners. The store manager of this branch was Gooden's mother, Han Shaoqin. Yang. Seeing Ni Yang arrive, Han Xiaoqin quickly came out to greet her. Ni Yang continued, Auntie Han, this is my good friend Wu Yenyun, and these are Yanyan's parents. Our store just happens to be in need of 2 cleaning staff, and I have already discussed this with Uncle Wu and Auntie Wu, and they will start working tomorrow. Uncle Wu, Auntie Wu, this is the store manager here, Han Xiaoqin. Hello, Manager Han. Han Xiaoqin was also a very warm person, smiling, don't be so formal, there's no need for such rules here, just call me Xiao Han. Come in and get acquainted with the work environment. Actually, the job of cleaning is very easy, just wiping the tables and sweeping the floors. Everyone followed her in. The store already had 1 cleaning lady. After looking around the store for a while, Yan Erju and Wu Jinshu felt completely stress-free. Cleaning here was just like doing housework. Being farmers themselves, this kind of work was nothing to them, especially since the salary at the store was so high. After confirming there were no issues with the job, the couple signed their contracts with Han Xiaoqin. Even when they got home in the evening, Yan Erju and Wu Jinshu were still a bit dazed. Jinshu, did we really find a job that pays 40 yuan a month? Really? Wu Jinshu nodded, pulling out the contract from the bag. Look, we've even signed the contract. Yan Erju, overwhelmed with joy, didn't know what to say and just clung to Wu Jinshu's wrist. Jinshu, how much will our combined salary be then? It'll be 80. Wu Jinshu answered. 80. Yan Erju laughed out loud with joy. 80. With these 80 yuan, we can send all 3 kids to school and never have to worry about not having the rent money again. Chapter 830, Domineering. _3. A month is 80 yuan, a year is 960 yuan. In the past, they could only earn a bit more than 200 yuan a year, and now it has increased nearly 5-fold. Seeing how happy her parents were, Wu Yenyun was also very happy. What made her happy was that she could finally go to school. Her parents no longer had to worry about making a living in the future. For a poor family, education is the best way out. Once she got into university, she would lead her family to a better life. Yan Erju turned her head to look at Wu Yenyun and said with a smile, Xiaoyun, the fortune teller in our village was right after all. You are the auspicious star reincarnated from heaven, capable of bringing good fortune to our family. Wu Yenyun replied, Mom, that's all superstition. I think we really ought to thank Yang Yang. If not for her, you and Dad wouldn't have found such a good job. Neither Wu Jinshu nor Yan Erju could read, and Wu Jinshu had a disability, which meant that no shop would normally hire them. Yan Erju nodded her head, you're right, we should thank Yang Yang properly. Speaking of which, Yang Yang is really capable too, owning several storefronts and even becoming a boss at such a young age. She looks only around 17 or 18. By the way, Xiaoyun, how did you meet Yang Yang? Wu Yenyun answered, Yang Yang and Xiaoyu are classmates and good friends. I met her through Xiaoyu. Oh, I see. Just then, Grandma Wu walked in from outside, carrying 2 strips of pork in her hand. Erju, take this meat and stir-fry it for the kids to ease their cravings. Yan Erju exclaimed in surprise, Mom, where did you get this meat from? At that time, pork fat was 2 yuan per jin, and the 2 strips of meat that Grandma Wu had were at least 3 to 4 jin, which was worth 7 to 8 yuan. The Wu family was so poor that even money was scarce. Where could Grandma Wu get the money from? Grandma Wu replied, Of course I bought it. What, you think I stole it? Yan Erju took the strips of pork. Was it Jin Jin who gave you the money? Wu Jin Jin, though her family's situation was not bad, was definitely not that generous. Usually, the gifts she gave were secretly passed to Grandma Wu, like a couple of lard cakes or 2 chicken legs. Grandma Wu gave Yan Erju a glance, It's my own money. What's the matter, you don't allow this old woman to have some private savings? No, that's not what I meant. Yan Erju quickly shook her head, then said to Wu Yenyun, Xiaoyun, let's go cook in the kitchen. Okay. Wu Yenyun nodded her head and followed Yan Erju's footsteps. After the mother and daughter left, Wu Jinshu said to Grandma Wu with a smile, "Mom, I've got some good news for you." "What good news?" asked Grandma Wu. Wu Jinshu replied, "Yen Yun helped Erju and me find new jobs at the noodle restaurant, cleaning for 40 yuan a month. We get 4 days off each month, and there are benefits during the holidays too." Under normal circumstances, Grandma Wu would have been delighted to hear this. But today, she showed little reaction. After all, she had seen a bit of the world by now. Grandma Wu said, 40 yuan a month, what's that? Put together, you two merely earn 80 yuan. Over 12 months, that's only 960 yuan. At this rate, when will you be able to buy a 2-story house with a yard in Beijing? The Wu family alone gave 3,000 yuan as a bride price, which could let Wu Jinshu and Yen Erju work for 3 years. Not to mention, it included a 2-story house. Wu Jinshu did not expect this reaction from Grandma Wu. "Mom, when did you get so extravagant? You're even looking down on 40 yuan? Keep in mind, I used to earn just a few cents per day working on the construction site." Grandma Wu glanced at Wu Jinshu. "That was then, this is now. I've done my research. In Beijing, building a 2-story house costs at least 20,000 yuan. Those 20,000 yuan, even if both of you didn't eat or drink, would take 20 years to save. After those 20 years, you would both be old, and the kids wouldn't need spouses anymore." Wu Jinshu laughed, "Money is earned gradually, don't worry." At that moment, Wu Jinshu suddenly remembered something Ni Yang had said in the afternoon, and continued, "Good days are created from bad ones. I believe that our family's life will keep getting better." Grandma Wu snorted, "Without me in this house, you can forget about the days ever getting better." With that, she turned around and headed inside the house. Chapter 831, Domineering. _4. Wu Jinshu scratched his head in confusion. Why did he feel like there was more to his mom's words? It was so strange. However, Wu Jinshu's confusion was soon diluted by the braised pork Yen Erju served up. Now that the couple had new jobs, their life was looking up. They enjoyed the meal with a sense of ease and deep satisfaction. As evening fell, Ni Yang returned to the Zheng family home. The Zheng patriarch and matriarch were at home, taking care of little Ni Yun. "Grandpa and Grandma, where are my dad and mom?" Ni Yang walked in and not seeing Ni Tsuehua or Shengguan Dehui, asked curiously. "Their parents went to the orphanage and have not come back yet," Mrs. Zheng said. Only then did Ni Yang remember that Ni Tsuehua would go to the orphanage every Wednesday with Shengguan Dehui to bring clothes and food, and to spend time chatting and playing games with the children. Ni Tsuehua rarely spoke of it, but in fact, she had never forgotten those 3 abandoned daughters. She filed a report at the police station and provided a blood sample, hoping that one day she could find those 3 poor children. Going to the orphanage was also a way to accumulate blessings for those 3 children. Ni Yang nodded her head. Just at this moment, Zheng Suyu suddenly rushed down from upstairs, yelling, "There's a ghost trying to kill me. Sister, save me." Even though she was clearly insane, she still recognized Mrs. Zheng and hid behind her. "Don't be afraid, Suyu, don't be afraid," Mrs. Zheng said as she protected Zheng Suyu behind her. "There are no ghosts in this world." There are ghosts." "Really, there are," Zheng Suyu said, looking around in terror. "Look there, that's a ghost." "That too. They're all ghosts. All of them are ghosts. Not a single good person." "Madam, don't be afraid. Shall I help you fight off the ghosts?" Ni Yang walked over to Zheng Suyu and casually took her hand. No. Zheng Suyu shook her head frantically. "You're a ghost too. You all are. Don't harm me. Don't harm me. I didn't see anything." Zheng Suyu's condition was getting worse by the day, to the point where even when Ni Yang placed a golden needle in her Laogong acupoint, it had no effect. Ni Yang narrowed her eyes slightly, capturing Zheng Suyu's last sentence accurately. She looked up at Jing Suyu. You saw something, I know you did. What did you see? I didn't see anything, I didn't see anything. Jing Suyu said in agony, clutching her head, becoming increasingly panicked. There seemed to be nothing in front of her, yet she acted as if she were staring into a bottomless hell. I didn't see anything, don't harm me. Watching Jing Suyu's condition deteriorate, Yang swiftly knocked Jing Suyu out with a chop of her hand. Mrs. Jing was startled. Yang, what are you doing? Yang continued, it's okay, Grandma, don't worry, I'll take Madam upstairs to rest now. There were certain things that Yang could not discuss directly with Mrs. Zheng, not because she distrusted Mrs. Zheng, but others. So, some things, it was better if she kept to herself. Thus, Mrs. Zheng looked on as Yang carried Jing Suyu on her back and headed upstairs. Such strength. Mrs. Zheng watched, flabbergasted. Little Yun clapped and laughed, sister is so powerful. After bringing Jing Suyu upstairs and covering her with a blanket on the bed, Yang realized that Jing Suyu's hysteria was becoming more severe. She needed to figure out the 13 Ghost Gates acupuncture technique soon. Judging by what Jing Suyu had said today, she most definitely knew some secret. The next day, Wu Jinshu and his wife Yan Erju went to work at the noodle restaurant. Both of them were honest people who greatly valued their jobs. They cleaned meticulously, never slacking even a bit, and they were friendly to boot. The other employees at the restaurant also took quite a liking to these two new colleagues. Wu Jinshu and Yan Erju used to settle for hard steamed buns they brought with them for lunch when they worked before, but now, the restaurant not only provided free lunch but also a very generous one at that. There was a lunch menu posted in the restaurant. Although the couple couldn't read, other employees told them that Mondays and Thursdays were rice with 5 dishes plus soup, a balance of meats and vegetables. On Fridays and Saturdays there were beef and mutton stewed noodles, and on Sundays dumpling soup. Today being Thursday, there was an abundant spread of 5 dishes plus soup, including braised pork and seaweed egg soup, and there was plenty to go around, making sure everyone was well fed. After lunch, each person could even take an apple. The good working conditions meant that the employees were enthusiastic in their tasks. Chapter 832, Dominant. _5. So, in Yang's noodle restaurant and milk tea shop, including other shops, there had never been a case of an employee resigning unless it was for an irresistible reason. This was also a main reason for Yang's success. She never acted like a blood-sucking capitalist. Days passed by peacefully for 2 days. On the 3rd day, Wu Jinjin found Grandma Wu. Mom, Wu Chang's mom came to see me yesterday. Grandma Wu was shaking out new clothes she had bought for Wu Jinshu and her 2 grandsons. What did she want? Wu Jinjin, speechless, said, you did take 3,000 yuan from her. What do you think she wants? Who takes money and doesn't do anything? Only then did Grandma Wu remember that she had arranged a marriage for Wu Yenyun and had taken 3,000 yuan from them. Right, if you didn't mention it, I would have almost forgotten about this matter. She had been too happy these past few days. Wu Jinjin continued, have you told my brother and sister-in-law about this? Not yet. Grandma Wu shook her head. Wu Jinjin became anxious. Why haven't you said anything? Wu Chang's mom is eager to meet. Only then did Grandma Wu realize the urgency. Jinjin, how do you think I should tell them? Wu Jinjin said, just say it however. It needs to be said sooner or later, and it's not a big deal. Wu Chang's family gave us so much stuff, my brother and sister-in-law might be thrilled. Grandma Wu nodded, yes, you are right. What did Wu Chang's mom say? When does she want to visit? Wu Jinjin continued, the 18th of this month would be good. The 18th of this month? There are only a few days left, today is already the 15th. Grandma Wu said. Wu Jinjin smilingly said, after all, Wu Chang is also getting on in age, and his mom is anxious to have grandchildren. It's normal for her to be a bit anxious. Grandma Wu nodded. Today, since the couple was not working, after Wu Jinjin left, Grandma Wu took out the new clothes she had bought for the two children and Wu Jinshu, these are for you and the kids. Wu Jinshu was surprised. Mom, did you buy these for me? Grandma Wu nodded. Yan Erju was even more puzzled. Where did Grandma Wu get so much private money from? But as a daughter-in-law, it wasn't appropriate for her to ask directly. Seeing the new clothes, the two children were ecstatic. Wu Jinshu continued, Mom, did you really buy these? The fabric looks quite good, these must have cost a good amount of money, right? Grandma Wu didn't directly answer Wu Jinshu's question but instead said, try them on and see if they fit. Wu Jinshu put the clothes on the table. Mom, tell me honestly what's going on with these clothes. Otherwise, I won't try them on. I bought them with private money. Grandma Wu said. Wu Jinshu sensed something was amiss. These clothes must cost at least 10 yuan. Where did you get so much private money? You don't need to worry about that. For a moment, Grandma Wu hadn't figured out how to explain the situation to Wu Jinshu and Yan Erju. Mom, lately you've been buying meat and clothes. Tell me honestly, where is all this money coming from? Wu Jinshu suddenly became serious. Grandma Wu shivered inexplicably and stood up. Come with me for a moment. Wu Jinshu followed Grandma Wu's steps. Yan Erju watched the mother and son with a puzzled look, curiosity filling her eyes. What could they not say in front of her, having to whisper secretly? After so many years, her mother-in-law still treated her as an outsider. They entered a room and closed the door. Wu Jinshu's eyelids twitched several times, sensing that something significant was about to happen. Mom, what exactly has happened? Grandma Wu pulled Wu Jinshu to sit down. Jinshu, sit first. Wu Jinshu sat down somewhat nervously. Grandma Wu didn't immediately discuss the matter but began to wipe away tears. Jinshu, life hasn't been easy for Mom. The year I turned 28, your dad passed away, and I've been a widow ever since. During the Great Famine, I ate tree bark and clay, barely managing to raise you and your sister. Wu Jinshu sighed. Mom, I know it hasn't been easy for you. Just tell me directly what has happened. As long as it's not about committing murder or arson, your son can handle it. Grandma Wu looked at Wu Jinshu. Actually, this matter is a joyous occasion for our family. What joyous occasion? Wu Jinshu asked. Grandma Wu wiped her tears. I should be happy to tell this. I shouldn't be crying, but I just can't control it. Our family has finally started living well. You must cherish it. Chapter 833, Domineering. _6. Grandma Wu was a very astute old lady. She knew Wu Jinshu might not accept the abrupt news, so she needed to lay some groundwork first. Wu Jinshu's patience was nearly worn out by Grandma Wu. What exactly is the happy occasion? Just say it. Grandma Wu suddenly stopped her weeping. I found a match for Yin. Wu Jinshu was shocked, his face turned pale, and he stood up from the table. What? Jinshu, don't worry. Although I'm not Yanyan's biological grandmother, I am no different from one. The family I found for Yanyan has very good conditions, and they even promised to give us a small Western-style house. Wu Jinshu seemed to suddenly realize something. So, these things you've bought in recent days, they weren't with your own money? Grandma Wu didn't speak, which was as good as an admission. Wu Jinshu's voice grew loud with anger. So the fine cuts of meat I've been eating these days were bought with the money from selling off my daughter. Grandma Wu corrected him. It's the betrothal gift, not money from selling off a daughter. You're making it sound too ugly. No way. I don't agree with this. Go and return the money to them immediately. It can't be returned now. At this point, Grandma Wu became calm and composed. Why not? Wu Jinshu asked. It just can't be returned. Grandma Wu was very firm in her attitude. I just can't understand why you care so much about a girl who was picked up from the streets. Is she more important than your own son? Outside the door, when Yan Erju heard these words, she turned pale. She walked to the front room, trying to act as though nothing had happened, and said to Wu Yenyun, Xiaoyun, take Dalong and Erlong out to play on the street, and by the way, buy 3 pounds of salt and some soy sauce. Okay, sure. Wu Yenyun nodded. Yan Erju handed Wu Yenyun 2 yuan, split the remaining money among the 3 of you and buy some candy. Wu Dalong was overjoyed to hear they could buy candy. Seeing Wu Yenyun leaving the house with the 2 kids, Yan Erju's expression instantly turned cold. She rushed to the kitchen, grabbed a kitchen knife, and headed to Grandma Wu's room. Bang! Yan Erju, accustomed to physical labor, kicked open the rickety door with 1 foot. Both Grandma Wu and Wu Jinshu inside were startled. Yan Erju slammed the kitchen knife onto the table. If anyone dares sell my daughter today, I will fight them to the end. Yan Erju was a straightforward person, a respectful daughter-in-law. Throughout her years of marriage to Wu Jinshu, she had never argued with Grandma Wu. Today was a first. Grandma Wu was initially stunned, then sat down on the ground, starting to throw a tantrum, weeping, "Oh my God! What sins have I committed? Now, my own daughter-in-law is wielding a knife to kill me." When I was young, I lost my husband, and now even my daughter-in-law is turning against me, threatening to kill me. I struggled so hard to raise 2 children, what for? Had I known this, I wouldn't have bothered raising them. Oh God! Why is my life so miserable? Why don't I just die? Lord, so many people are dying outside, why don't you take me too? You're leaving me here to suffer, in terms of being unreasonable and shameless. How could Yan Erju outdo Grandma Wu? The fact that Grandma Wu had managed to bring up 2 children alone during the Great Famine indicated she was no ordinary person. Yan Erju also sat down on the ground and began to cry loudly, "No one can sell my daughter." Grandma Wu cried even louder, "How pitiful, I'm so pitiful. When I was young, I lost my husband, the son I raised is useless, and now the unfilial daughter-in-law has joined forces to bully me, a lonely old widow. Go ahead and kill. Go ahead and kill. If you don't kill me today, you're not Yan Erju." As she spoke, Grandma Wu picked up the kitchen knife from the table and moved toward Yan Erju. Caught between his mother and his wife, Wu Jinshu was distraught to tears, fearing an actual loss of life. How would he resolve this? "Mom, please don't do this. Erju doesn't mean that. Get out of my way. You're worthless. I'm not your mother. I don't have a spineless waste of a son like you." Grandma Wu kicked Wu Jinshu away. "I tell you, today it's either her or me. She thinks she's tough. She wants to kill. Let her do it." Chapter 834, Domineering. _7 She, Yan Erju, was fearsome indeed. She even dared to threaten her with a knife. If she did not teach her a lesson today, she would think she could be easily bullied. This time, Wu Jinshu did not hold back. Wresting the kitchen knife from Grandma Wu's hand, he harshly said, "Mom, you were wrong in this matter. Erju is not to blame." Grandma Wu and Yan Erju were both stunned. Calm and steady Wu Jinshu had never lost his temper like this before. Wu Jinshu threw the kitchen knife into the yard. "Mom, it's not just Erju who disagrees, I disagree too. Go and break off this engagement right now." Seeing Wu Jinshu supporting her, Yan Erju breathed a sigh of relief. Grandma Wu burst into tears again. "I can't live like this, I can't live anymore. You are all forcing me to die, Mom. I'm not joking with you. Yenyun is still young, she needs to study. She can't get married this early." Grandma Wu wiped away her tears. "This matter cannot be called off now. It has to be called off regardless." Wu Jinshu's stance was very firm. "Otherwise, don't blame me for not recognizing you as my mother." On hearing this, Grandma Wu looked at Wu Jinshu in shock. "For that foundling girl, you would disown me, your own mother? Was she really less important than a foundling?" Yan Erju suddenly spoke up. "Xiaoyun is not a foundling. She is my own biological daughter. You never cared for her even for a day. What right do you have to sell her off? What right? In Yen Erju's heart, Wu Yenyun was her own daughter. Grandma Wu glared at Yen Erju. Not a foundling? If not a foundling, then did you have her with some unknown man outside? Oh, now I get it. That explains why you always protect that wild girl. You had an affair, dishonoring yourself. You shameless woman. How could our esteemed Wu family have someone like you, bringing us disgrace? What are you babbling about? Yen Erju was angrily triggered. Being an honest person, she could not tolerate such baseless accusations from her mother-in-law. I am done arguing with you today. Yen Erju and Grandma Wu started physically fighting. Wu Jinshu massaged his temples in agony. Yen Erju was truly enraged, not holding back in her attacks, and though Grandma Wu was no pushover, she was getting on in years. She was no match for Yen Erju. Wu Jinshu thought it was about time and pulled them apart. Grandma Wu sat on the ground, crying her heart out, with 3 scratch marks on her face from Yen Erju. Yen Erju was not much injured, but her hair had been yanked out in clumps by Grandma Wu. Both were in a sorry state. After a long while, the atmosphere finally calmed down a bit, and Wu Jinshu took hold of Grandma Wu, saying, "Mom, come with me to Wu Lan's house right now and clear up this matter. It's unfixable." Grandma Wu pushed away Wu Jinshu's hand. "I've already received 3,000 yuan as a betrothal gift from Wu Lan's brother, bought a bicycle and a sewing machine for your sister, and 2,000 yuan is lost. Calling off the marriage sounds easy. Do you have 3,000 yuan? 3,000 yuan? For a family like Wu Jinshu's, 3,000 yuan was an astronomical figure. Wu Jinshu was stunned. After that statement, Grandma Wu moved to the bed to lie down, turning her back to Wu Jinshu and Yen Erju. "I've already told everyone. They are coming to our house the day after tomorrow to dine and fix the wedding date. You all have to agree whether you agree or not. Otherwise, you might as well kill me. I don't want to live anymore." Chapter 835, I Want to Divorce You. Wu Grandma's words came out bold and shameless. Yet Wu Jinshu and Yen Erju were completely unable to do anything about her. They certainly couldn't really kill Wu Grandma. Yen Erju cried in despair, "I can't live this way anymore. Life is unlivable like this. Wu Jinshu, I want to divorce you. Divorce, divorce, divorce. Let's do it immediately." Wu Grandma sat up in bed, pointing at Yen Erju, "You'd better take your things and get out of our Wu family's house. But the kids belong to our Wu family, and you're not taking a single one with you." Did Yen Erju think she could threaten her with divorce? She truly wasn't afraid. In the future, their family would have a Western-style house and a Beijing residence registration. Wouldn't it be easy for Wu Jinshu to find another wife? "You just say less," Wu Jinshu said. "Erju, don't be angry, my mom's gone senile. She's lost her mind." Wu Jinshu helped Yen Erju up from the floor. "Let's go back to our room. There will definitely be a way to solve this." Hearing Wu Jinshu protect Yen Erju to the point of calling his own mother crazy sent Wu Grandma into a rage. This was outrageous. Wu Grandma immediately sprang out of bed, hurling curses, "I'm crazy. I'm a lunatic. What sin did I commit in the past to raise such a thing like you? Now, to protect a little vile woman, you even dare to call your own mother crazy. You unfilial son will descend to the 18th layer of hell for this." Wu Jinshu pretended not to hear these words, pulling Yen Erju towards their room. Wu Grandma, so angry she was shaking, invoked Wu Jinshu's dead father in her tirade, bouncing up and down on her feet as if they were on springs. Yen Erju was pulled into the room by Wu Jinshu. Wu Jinshu comforted her, "Erju, don't worry, our family will definitely not sell our daughter. Even if I have to sell my blood, we will gather these 3,000 yuan." This was not just to comfort Yen Erju. Wu Jinshu was truly ready to sell his blood. When Wu Yenyun had been picked up, with her umbilical cord still uncut, it was they who had raised her, dealing with all the mess and pee. Over the years, Yen Erju, not just Wu Jinshu, treated her as their own daughter. In their family of 3 boys, Wu Yenyun was the only daughter. If the family hadn't been so poor, they would have cherished their daughter like the apple of their eye. Alas, they couldn't afford to. Yen Erju, weeping inconsolably in Wu Jinshu's arms, cried out, "My Xiaoyun is so fated to suffer. If I knew it'd be so hard with us, I'd rather have sent her to live with my sister." Yen Erju's sister, named Yen Daeju, was much older than Yen Erju. When Yen Erju had found Wu Yenyun, Yen Daeju really wanted to adopt her, since they had 4 boys and longed for a daughter, but Yen Erju had not agreed. Now, looking back, Yen Erju was filled with regret. Yen Daeju's family was doing really well. 3 of her 4 sons had gone to college and were working. If Wu Yenyun had been with them, she surely would still be in school now. "Erju, what nonsense are you talking about? Since we brought Yenyun home, she is our daughter, and you shall not say such things again. Come on now, wipe away your tears, lest the kids come back and worry unnecessarily when they see us like this." Yen Erju, wiping her tears, asked, "But what do we do now? Xiaoyun is only 17 this year. Are we really going to let her marry and become someone's stepmother?" "No. As long as I am around, I won't let her marry and become anyone's stepmother," Wu Jinshu said. "I'll sell blood right after work tomorrow, and we'll save whatever we can." Yen Erju nodded, "Okay, I'll go too." Wu Yenyun took her 2 younger brothers out to the streets. The 2 boys were young and overjoyed at the sight of candy. Wu Yenyun was weighed down with worries. She always felt something had happened at home, and Yen Erju had deliberately sent her out. While Wu Yenyun was preoccupied with her thoughts, a gentle voice rang out in front of her, "Yenyun." "Yang Yang?" Wu Yenyun looked up, not expecting to see Ni Yang, her eyes filled with surprise. "Yenyun, are these your little brothers?" Ni Yang continued to ask. Wu Yenyun nodded, "This is my eldest brother, Wu Dalong, and this is my second brother, Wu Erlong. We also have a youngest brother named Wu Xiaolong. Dalong, Erlong, this is sister Yang Yang, she's a benefactor to our family." Both Wu Dalong and Wu Erlong had a yellowish complexion, and although Wu Yenyun was a bit darker, it was clear that her darkness was acquired from sun exposure. Among the facial features, one of the brothers resembled Wu Jinshu and the other resembled Yen Erju. You're tuning in to the Dreamy Love Stories YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.